Yeah, I don't know what that means. But I should be live now.
On Facebook?
Yeah, should be.
Let me go find it
If
so
it's
I can share it.
if it's putting out.
Oh yeah, yeah, we're most certainly live.
If it's putting out.
You forgot to name it on your stream.
Huh?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, it just says support the stream. You forgot to name it on your stream.
Huh?
Yeah.
Why is it? It's like double echoing. Oh, 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 oh. All right, cool. I don't know if we have any viewers yet, but anyway,
Did you
welcome.
too? Did you rename it at all or anything? Or are we just gonna am I share it?
Yeah, just let me see if I can edit it.
Yeah, I don't want to have to share it 15 different times.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Technical difficulties, people. Wait a minute.
Apparently, I'm the only viewer now. We lost one.
We lost them already. I said adult language, highly likely.
Parentheses. Shane cusses a lot.
Every word out of my mouth is the F word.
Shit, never mind.
I, I literally, I cooked hibachi on the Blackstone the other night, and
Ooh.
we had a couple friends over, and uh, the girls were literally like sitting around the table doing like this, counting how many times I said the F word in a sentence. Yeah, it was like 17 in one sentence.
Shit.
I was like, shit happens.
All right, you ready to start this deal?
Yep, let's start it. We got a couple viewers. Y'all can comment. I should be able to see it somewhere.
Dapper thoughts.
Does it say Dapper Thoughts?
No, but it tried to on mine.
Oh, all right. So this is a Sapper Thoughts. It's gonna be a weekly thing for right now. We might do it more than once a week, but for right now we're slated for Wednesdays. Uh, Basically we're just gonna talk sports, real life stuff, whatever we feel like talking about. Really, I guess it's that simple. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Danny May. I just turned 31 years old. I have two, well,
Like
I have three
long walks
kids.
on the beach.
I like long walks on the beach, white claws, uh,
Basic bitch.
basic white girl. Uh, did 10 years in the military. Was combat engineer, sapper. I was 370th Sapper Company for my entire active duty career, and then when I went in the reserves, I don't even remember what my unit name was, but they were gay anyway, so fuck them. Um, Been downrange a couple of times, been blown up a couple of times, been around the world twice, literally. Um, this handsome little fellow here is probably my one of my best friends, Mr. Shane Tackett. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Well, hi. As he said, my name's Shane Tackett. I like long walks on the beach, and I too was in the military, but we're in the same battalion. We actually became friends through racing, and we I guess we talked a few times while in Germany, but we decided this would be a good idea to also deployed and got blown up. But we decided a few months ago this would be a cool idea for us to do, and then we lost the video because ADD has got a hold of both of us. So I figured we'd live stream it and not edit it and just ship it to the moon. So if it sucks, let us know and we'll see what we can change. If not, then suck it up.
Who cares? We're not doing this for views. We're doing this because
Now we're doing this because we're
since we
bored
don't
and we
iRace
do on a
anymore,
Wednesday.
this is the only time we get to talk and catch up. So we're gonna overload y'all with about 2 hours full of BS. So sit back and enjoy the ride. If you want to join, comment that you want to join, and I'll get you into the Zoom so you can come join the party. Um,
Tell us why our opinions suck.
yeah, adult language is probably gonna happen. If we hurt your feelings by saying an opinion you don't like or view differently, suck it
Grow
up,
some thicker
Buttercup.
skin.
Uh, we both don't always agree on stuff, but we have enough respect for each other to listen to one another's opinions and get feedback as to why we don't agree or do agree, whatever. Uh, so with that, we're gonna kind of talk about our kids' sports stuff, and then we'll segue on into the next part. So, my little man playing pee wee football. They've lost every game they played. Their coaches suck and don't know what they're doing. Be a miracle if they win a football game this year, but little man's learning.
Are
He's
you one of their coaches?
no, God no, no. Uh, little little man's learning though. He's having a good old time. Mostly when he's home working with dad, making sure his head's out, you know, back straight, freaking butt down, kind of ordeal. Um, but yeah, um, his Facebook game or his football games are on Facebook on the Monterey Youth Football or something like that. Uh, yeah, so that's about him and Kylie Ray's cheerleading. She's having a blast doing that. Um, she wants to play softball though, so pretty stoked for that. Get her get her ready for softball in the spring, hopefully. And also, I'm coaching 10U baseball, and I've got a pretty fucking good baseball team. We start Thursday if the field dries up between now and then, because we kind of had the remnants of that hurricane. Um, but we just discovered Shane can now watch Eli's football games thanks to the uh, what was it called, Shane? The NHFS or the NFHS network. It's something I subscribe to
Yes. Yes. I
watch
didn't even
football
know about it. I
games.
was actually looking at Yeah, I was actually looking at maxpreps.com. But yeah, apparently, I didn't know this. Only time I ever really watched my kid play football was in high, and I got to go to one game a year because he lives down in Alabama. Uh, he's a he seems to be a pretty decent football player. He likes it. My deal with him is he puts in the effort, and I'll support him any way I can, and he puts in all the effort, so I can't hate too bad. And he seems to like it, and he does well. And apparently his team's undefeated. He's defensive end normally, and I know he's been complaining because he had to play the line as well. He's a big youngin. Like I'm a little dude, but he's way bigger than I am. But his team's 2-0. We're talking about 3A varsity, Lauderdale County, Alabama, and they were 6-0 and then 23-6. So keeping that points against number quite low. So I think he's gonna crush it this weekend. I think they said East Lawrence. I've heard Eli talk about them, so I gotta ask him some more about them, see what's up with that. But I'm excited to uh find like it's now appointment viewing on Friday. It's like 7 or it says 7 p.m. I don't know if that's Eastern or I would assume that's Eastern time. But either way,
No, I think it's
like
my
starting at
because
7 o'clock.
is he Central or Eastern?
Yeah, he's y'all. He's weird time, just like you.
Yeah, so it's probably 8 your time, 7 our time. Listen, I
Oh
can't help it.
God! All right, so it's 8 o'clock for the hour of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Yeah, yeah, because it says on my phone here they play East Lawrence High September 3rd at 7 o'clock. So make sure get with me offline after this, and I'll share my credentials with you. None of you Facebook punks are getting it.
RJR.
Be all up on my stuff. Pay $70 a year for that crap. But I get to watch a lot of high
Oh
school
my
football.
God!
It's worth it. Okay, I like watching kids that are coming to West Virginia and gonna bring us the national championship. We'll
Huh?
get into college football later.
Oh, well, I mean that's a hell of a transition. You want to just go into it?
No, I want to get the political part out of here first. So I just
We should do that last when nobody's watching.
I just want to say really quick that I had to type this morning when I got off work so I could remember. Um, but yeah, so Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan, various Persian empires, the Brits, the Soviets, NATO, the United States have all tried to conquer the foreign land of Afghanistan. All right, so when I first got over there in '09, I knew that it was like inevitable that they're not going to become a democracy. Uh, we weren't going to change anything over there. Hearts and minds wasn't going to be one. Uh, but what wasn't inevitable is the way we left out of there. Uh, it was reported we rescued, quote unquote, rescued 123,000 Afghan people. Uh, had a couple of them die because they were trying to hang on to aircraft as they were leaving. Uh, so, meanwhile, while those people were rescued, we left approximately 1,300 American citizens stranded around Kabul and other areas. Why those people weren't
What an idiot.
brought out first, I have no idea. So then, uh, what really cracks me up, not really, but because it's going to suck if we ever go back over there, but they were left with $85 billion worth of military equipment. That's including MRAPs, which are what, probably about $1 million a pop. All kinds of aircraft, weapons,
Yeah,
drones, nods. I mean, whatever. It's just left
but
because it was too.
I mean, we left them all those. Sorry.
Go ahead.
So we left them all those vehicles, right?
Right.
Now, I remember that ongoing joke. Military grade.
Right.
One thing is for certain: they're not going to put, well, a few things. They're not going to put their drip pans down. They're not going to use chop blocks. Like,
Exactly.
that's inevitable. Like, something's going to break.
Mhm.
Number two is, I'm gonna willing to bet like a month into this, they're gonna run out of any supply of oil, which I give it 6 months of them riding those things around before none of them work. They're all gonna grenade. I mean, they leak like sieves, man.
Yeah,
It's
that's
the
like. Have you seen
it's like
the
poking a hole in a pool.
Have you seen the video of the dude? I don't know what it's called. It wasn't a fixed wing. It was some kind of helicopter that the dude tried taking off in it, and all he did was like hard rudder in circles and like put it back down. I saw it on TikTok. It's pretty freaking funny.
I might check that out.
um, but yeah, apparently last night they held a victory parade. They were all decked out in OCP stuff, and like you can tell they were trained by Americans just by this right here. That trigger discipline. So like you know
Bastards.
who trained him. Uh, which a lot of the like A&A guys or whatever, that's what a lot of people keep saying was like we trained their army or whatever, and then when we left, like I understand them like saying, "Oh, I'm not A&A anymore. I'm Taliban, so I don't get my fucking head chopped off and my family gets murdered." But we wasted I don't know how many trillions of dollars trying to train those dudes. So here's my point on it. So I've been fielding phone calls since all this started. People wanting to know my opinion, wanting to know if I felt angry or felt as if it was pointless. So here's the deal, and I don't mean to anger or upset anybody, but this is just how I feel. Um, I'm proud I got to go over there. I'm proud I served my country, and I had the honor of fighting alongside some of the most badass dudes um, that I'll forever like share brotherhood with until the day I die. Yeah, we lost life. We suffer from PTSD and all kinds of depression and anxieties back here on the home front. Um, and I didn't necessarily agree with the war to begin with, but I did uh, take an oath to defend my country and do whatever leadership told me to do. Yeah,
Support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, both foreign and domestic.
yeah, that's right. That's why we got to do it now. Um, so my point is, I've been seeing a lot of veterans and stuff posting like sad, soppy shit on Facebook, talking about we're the next we're gonna turn into a bunch of Vietnam veterans who like people just look down on us and all that shit. Well, to you people, I say fuck that shit. Um, we went over there, we did our fucking jobs, we had our hands tied behind our back. They wanted us to win hearts and minds. Robert O'Neill said it best last night. If they'd let us go over there without our hands being tied and just shoot those motherfuckers in the face, the problem would be solved in about 2 weeks. Uh, so, uh, yeah, you veterans and shit like that, you guys keep your heads up. Don't worry about it. Just remember your brothers, sisters, whatever. Because with us, black, white, brown, city boy, country boy, Republican, Democrat, none of that shit mattered when we were downrange. So just wanted to throw that tidbit out. I don't want to see the 22 increase because of people's opinions and bullshit. But yeah, that's all I got on that.
I agree wholeheartedly. Um, I ain't got much to say about the politics of the matter, but I'll say this. They train you to go to war to fight for your country. What you really do is you end up fighting for each other and
Exactly.
living for each other. And we all did the best we could to make sure as many of us came home as possible. And and we fought for each other, sometimes against each other when we needed to, because egos are a thing. But um,
But that was needed
keep your
though.
head up, man. Check on each other. It
Yeah.
was, yeah. I got busted in the mouth one time, but I earned it, and I kept talking shit because I'm a dumbass. But anyways,
Yeah, like
um,
social
just
connections save lives. Like just because you might not be feeling it, one of your
it really does.
buddies might be. So you just gotta reach out. Just say, hey, dude, fuck you, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just let someone know you're reaching out, thinking about them.
Yeah, if I don't talk to like a few of them, like May, if I don't talk to him, for a few weeks, I just reach out and literally all I say is you're a bitch or fuck you, and
Yeah,
it leads into something bigger, something more. Um, and that shit matters, man. You might be the thing that saves your buddy.
yeah,
Even if it's just, hey man, how's it going? Hey man, how's your family? Hey man, I just shit on your porch. Whatever, whatever it takes, man. This is all one team, one fight, and the only way we're gonna succeed is if we stay in the fight together.
yep.
So that's all I got on that.
Sweet. Let's get out of politics because I don't want this shit to go anywhere near that. Uh,
Yeah. We actually had like 3 viewers, so hopefully we ran them off. I don't know.
yeah. Um, so let's talk about NASCAR first. You want to?
What a shit show Saturday was, huh?
The whole weekend at Daytona was, I thought. Although props to Dinger
So what?
and those guys over there. They're on it.
Uh, Before we get into what happened Saturday, did you just see? Bob Pockers just said that qualifying expected most, if not all, Cup races in 2022 to allow teams to set budget, sponsor fees, and car build schedules. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, that's kind of awesome.
That is awesome.
No more stupid metric thing.
Yeah, I just saw earlier. I think Blaney's got the pole for Darlington.
I hadn't even looked. So, speaking of Darlington, first let's cover the shit show that was Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bunch of wrecks. It was millions of dollars lost because people like it. To me, it's not racing. Um, it's cool to watch, all, but how much car control does it take to destroy 40 vehicles? I mean, really. Like,
Ask
you
Garrett
know me, I like
Smithley.
to watch them slide, and
Ask Garrett Smithley. I mean, he took out three of
you
Rick Ware
explain that to your
cars.
team owner.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like, how does that Monday meeting go? Like, so what happened was,
So, and Garrett, if you're watching, which I know you're not, but I appreciate you for taking up for me in the ERA race at Nashville last year. You wrecked a dude under caution because he completely dumped me. So I appreciate that. But yeah, um, yeah, Saturday shit show.
yeah. So I don't know what they can do to fix that. They're gonna race. They're gonna keep turning the wick down, and it's not gonna get any better next year. I heard on door bumper clear, the tire test that Christopher Bell did at Bristol, like 3 seconds off the pace,
Yeah.
and he about wrecked it, which is exciting for next year. I hope those cars are impossible to drive. I hope they're swapping ends. I'm ready to see him back them in the fence again. Like that sucks. I hate for the ownership in NASCAR, those drivers. But if they're gonna be the best in the world, make it the hardest thing in the world to drive. I'd rather them drive dump trucks than them to be on the rails that they're on right now.
Yeah. The like that the last caution or the last wreck there on the green white checker after they were already in overtime. Uh, like I get it. Actually, the caution before that too. Like I get it. You're gonna try to block, but like when they're there, they're there. Like you're not blocking it.
So speaking of blocking, did you see what Busher did to Bowman? Uh,
Yeah. When
like 1 and 2 that just before the last caution.
yeah.
He probably kept Bowman out of that wreck, but dude literally turned down on him and he was on his door.
Mhm.
Like that's how you wreck a field. Chase Elliott, a way too late block to the top,
Yep.
way too late. And I find it interesting, man. I pay attention to NASCAR Twitter, and like normally there's dudes losing their mind. If Chase is involved in a wreck, it's somebody else's fault 100% all the time.
Always. Mhm.
And I've never seen such silence on NASCAR Twitter. These dudes are like,
Yeah.
so who's the best Hendrick driver right now? It's like you're not gonna call your boy out, but
Yeah.
he did. He shit the bed, but they all do it. It's all happened. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s done it. I'm sure at some point in time, Dale Earnhardt wrecked the field. Probably at Daytona. Probably not. He was really good, but yeah, they've all done it.
However, there was a lot of hard impacts. A lot of hard impacts for dudes. Uh, I forgot who it
Yeah.
was. Went into the inside wall down there, and I mean, it just. I was sitting on the couch, and I was like, "Ugh, that hurt." And then like,
You talking about when Kyle Busch bounced off the inside wall, got T-boned by Kaz Grala?
no, I was about to say though. KB
How
freaking
you gonna wreck from 2 miles back?
listen though. He had it saved until he didn't have it saved, and then he fucking
Like
went
I get it.
down. And then when he come back up, I was like, "Oh, sweet, we might be okay." And then fucking Kaz just fucking hit him, and I was like, "God."
So, um, I would love to see the radioactive on that. I've not had a chance to watch it yet, but
I,
I imagine that like Brett Griffin probably told him like coming out of 4, like reckon, just ease your way down pit road, and they're still wrecking. You know, Kyle. I guess he assumed Kyle was just gonna stop down there, but he was still in the fight, baby, willing the shit out of it. And
well, Tony Hirschman's his spotter, not Brett Griffin.
no, I'm talking about Kaz Grala's spotter.
Oh, Kaz's. Uh, so
Yeah,
to,
yeah. Well, what could Kyle Busch do? He was busy. He had
so
shit going on, but Kaz
so
kind of.
so Tony Tony Hirschman was uh he was telling Kyle, reckon whatever, all around's clear, whatever lane you need, whatever. And for whatever reason, I don't know if he got in some oil or whatever, but all of a sudden the ass end went whoop, and KB went to doing KB things, and I was like, oh, is he gonna save it? And I'm trying to look, and they panned the camera off. Then I see him come back across pit road, and Cass hit him, and I'm like, fuck. And there was a couple words
Dude,
over
you
the
see how
radio, but it was a
you
side
see how
like,
fast it stopped Kaz Grala?
yeah. Like, did you see the side of KB's
Like 50
car
mile an
though?
hour, it stopped.
Like, it pushed the freaking. If they didn't have that extra uh like bar in there, the freaking door would have been over
Yeah.
by the shifter. So like, big props, because back in the day that wouldn't have happened. So
No,
safety
that hurt somebody
innovations.
real bad.
Yeah. Um, but I
Uh,
mean,
well,
Daytona being a cutoff race, like it's exciting. Uh, and
so is there a better option for a cutoff race?
I mean, of course there is, but it's
Like what? Let's talk about it.
it's what they want. They want to have
Like in,
excitement. Like
like I get it.
like you
I
followed
do.
the whole Austin Dillon Tyler Reddick thing all the way to the end. You know what I mean? Like, both of them had problems. You know, Austin Dillon had that freaking battery problem, and uh, both of them got in wrecks. Like, so like it was exciting all the way to the end, and everybody else you just kind of knew unless somebody just real random won the race. Like you didn't really know until the end, kind of. Which
Yeah.
I don't really like the whole playoff thing. Uh, doesn't
See, I
really,
disagree with that. Look, I remember NASCAR in the '90s, right?
right?
Where, like, I remember. I'm gonna age myself, but I remember watching Dale Earnhardt clinch it like at Rockingham before they ever went to Atlanta,
Yeah.
and Jeff Gordon doing the same thing, and Terry Labonte, and '93 it was a good race, and then it was not for years, and then Kenseth won one race all year, and they're like, we're gonna do the chase,
Mhm.
which is fine. Like, why not? If you're gonna do it, let's do it right. Have a playoff system. It's not like it's one race and done. They got three races to either screw it up or figure it out. I do think they need to redo like Kyle Larson could. I'm pretty sure park his car each uh word Shane used them
Round.
each each round for a race and
Yeah.
still make.
Yeah, because you got Darlington, Richmond, Bristol, then it cuts to 12. Then you got Vegas, Dega, and then the Roval, which that to me is going to be the most exciting round. And then you go to the round of 8, which is Texas, Kansas, Martinsville, which I'll be there, shout out. And then you go to Phoenix.
Okay, so my goal is, I know I'm going to Bristol. Uh, if you haven't been to a race at the Roval, it's really good. I plan on being there. I don't know if the wife's gonna let me or not. Please, honey. And I would like to go to Martinsville, but I don't know if that's gonna be a thing yet. But I would love to make all three cutoff races, but I know I'm gonna make at least one because I never
Oh,
visit
that
Bristol.
would be a trip. Now that you say that, it is. That would be all 3 cutoff races.
Yep.
That would be pretty sweet.
So who gets cut the first round? Let's start with Darlington, right? So you got Darlington this week.
Yep.
Um, who's gonna shit the bed? Not who's gonna win. Nobody cares about who's gonna win. Who's gonna shit the bed in the playoffs? You weren't prepared for that.
Uh, I th- are you talking about just Darlington or just the whole first round?
We'll start with Darlington. Who's gonna shit the bed at who's gonna tear the lady in Black's wall to the ground this week?
Uh,
750 package. They got to wheel it there now.
much as I love him, KB will. He's he struggled at Darlington last couple of years. Uh, yeah, so I'm gonna say KB doesn't have the best race of his life, but comes back at Richmond and Bristol and makes up for it.
Who do you think is gonna be the surprise of this? Okay,
All right, so there's
so
two surprises that I think.
okay,
I I really think that if he can be consistent, and I don't know if it's just hopeful wishing on my part for the little guy, but I would love to see Michael McDowell freaking go far. And I think he can. He just needs a little bit of consistency throughout. Yeah, right.
yeah.
Uh, and then obviously I would like to see uh, Christopher Bell do good, but that's just because I love to see Bell.
All right, so I went back and looked. Um, Last year, do you know who? Do you remember after COVID ended, like they did like 3 or 4 races at Darlington? Do you remember who dominated most of those races?
No, who?
What was the '88 car at the time, which is now the '48? The Ally Chevrolet, the Showman. Here's why I find it to be interesting. Okay,
Okay.
he finished well there in the spring. I didn't see where he finished. I meant to, but I forgot to look. Um, he won Richmond, and he did decent last fall at
Mm-hmm.
Bristol and got taken out, or something happened. Because I remember I was a bit sad, but yeah, he's my guy. So I'm a homer. I don't care.
Yeah.
But But I honestly believe, he's finished top 5 at the Roval 2 years in a row. He's won at Richmond. Dover's not in the playoffs anymore, is it? No, because they
No,
traded one for Nashville, which was the hottest race I've ever been to in my entire life.
I
It
go
was so
right
hot that day.
I go right by the Nashville Super Speedway every night. The uh the FedEx
Do
hub that
you?
I go to is
See, I tried to stop by someone's house
the FedEx hub I go to
on the
is
way
right across the
back,
street.
and
Yeah, I don't even remember what I was doing. We weren't home. Was that when?
you had stuff happen that day. I remember that
I don't
because we were
remember.
supposed to meet up, and then you had like a family emergency or something.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened.
But anyways, um, yeah. So uh, I think McDowell's out first round. Um, Reddick will either tear it all down or he'll finish 5 all three races.
Har-
That's my theory. I'm a little worried about Harvick. I think
Worried
he's
about him, like he's gonna do good, or
no.
oh yeah, I was gonna say no. He's not. No, I expect him not to make it past the round of 12.
Is that a Ronnie Childers issue? Is that a Harvick issue? Or is that a SHR issue?
I don't think it's an HHR issue, because I mean,
I mean,
for the most part,
Chase Briscoe's figured it out the last few weeks.
they've all kind of struggled together. But well, you're right. Chase has kind of figured it out. Um, I don't know, man. Like I don't know what it is. Like last year, Harvick and uh, was it Hamlin? They freaking dominated the regular season, and both of them have
Yeah, they won like 15 races between the two.
yeah. And so this year, like I don't know. So who's your take your final four and then pick your champion?
Larson, because he can walk his way in there. Um, I've been fighting myself with this. Like, I'm pretty sure Larson will, but there's also the chance that Larson could shit the bed. Like, so anything's possible.
You think so?
Because
You think
well,
it's
here's why. You think about it, dude. Talladega, Martinsville, and what's the other track in that round? Um,
so the Dega round it's the Roval in Vegas, and then
okay.
the Martinsville round it's Kansas, Texas, Martinsville.
Oh God. Uh, okay. So Martinsville. Okay, yeah, he's there. My only concern would be, all it takes is a destroyed transmission at the Roval and Dega to have to be having an issue, a real issue,
Mhm.
or breaks at Richmond, Bristol being Bristol, and
Oh,
uh,
it's gonna be an exciting
Lady in Black.
playoffs. I mean, it's gonna be
Oh, dude,
exciting
I can't wait.
because
But I
like
think Larson will be in, and going off, it'd be hard to say. He's low in the playoff standings, but Denny Hamlin's gonna figure it out. He just is. If JGR hits on it, like they did early in the season when Truex and KB were figuring it out. Like all it takes is Adam Stevens to figure it out for Christopher Bell, and they can just sit back and watch. The kid's good.
yeah.
So I think a JR car will be in the final four. Um, Blaney's hot. And as much as I love Blaney, he's also shit the bed a few times. So it's hard to pick him. And it's not going to be Brad Keselowski. Even though he's got a great spotter and TJ Majors now, like he may win Dega, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I know. I'm pretty sure Kyle Larson will probably Chase Elliott or one of the other Hendrick cars, and you'll have a JGR car, and because it's NASCAR, I'm sure there'll be a Ford in there somewhere, or Etzel Ford's gonna roll over and like lose his mind on NASCAR, I'm sure. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting. I do think HMS driver wins the championship. I don't know why, but from what they had last year and at Phoenix, like unless somebody's figured something out, like Chase Elliott kind of has a secret rocket ship at Phoenix. that he did not share with anybody this past spring. So I don't know. What about you? Who you got?
So I'm reading here. Uh, Blaney and Hamlin are going to make up your front row for Darlington. Then Kurt Busch. Then you got Elliott, Bowman, and Larson.
What is Larson doing starting at four-back?
Well, they reserved the top 16 spots for the playoff drivers.
Oh yeah, from the holy shit, Bowman's starting fifth. I like it.
Yeah. So that tells me the playoffs are already rigged. No, I'm just kidding. I can't hate on Hendrick. Chevrolet figured the fuck out. I'm so happy for those guys. They have been riding the struggle bus
For 3 years.
forever.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see them doing good. Um, so yeah, my final four. I'm gonna say it's gonna be Larson, uh, Bowman, one of the Bush brothers, KB, and I'm gonna take Seabell probably.
Your Toyota uh, favoritism's like thick.
How's that thick?
Okay, you said Larson, one of the Bush brothers, correct?
Yep,
Okay, so
Larson, Bowman, KB, and
oh,
Seabell.
you said Bowman. I didn't hear that. I
That's,
didn't hear Bowman.
that's two Chevys and two Toyotas. No Fords,
I don't
cause
know that Bowman.
cause Ford struggled. I do. I listen. I know playoff time, like crew chiefs get stingy with them notebooks and don't want to pass it around. But how many times this year have they finished one, two, three, four?
Once, but they finished like top four.
I,
Like three of them has finished top four quite a few times.
like you see what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah.
I think Mr. H is gonna make them not be so stingy and share the wealth, especially not having practice and all that shit. Are they gonna let them practice at the Roval, or are they just gonna ship it?
No, the only place that I know of that they're doing practice at is Phoenix.
That'll be interesting for well that if he makes it that far, that's when you got to kind of talk about Eric Almirola a little bit, don't you?
Flat, yeah, he did great on flat track.
I mean,
But as far as your Bowman thing, like I'm not gonna hide that I'm an Alex Bowman fan. I was since he like watched the 7 car burn to the ground when that freaking firefighter tripped. Funniest thing I ever seen in my life.
yeah.
He just throws his hands up like, well, shit, my car's burning down. Been a fan of his ever since. Um, but for some reason, like they'll 3 weeks in a row and they're absolutely on it. They're finishing top four, top five every single week. And then they'll have 2 weeks where they're in the 20s. Like they just occasionally just lay an egg,
Hmm.
shit the bed, whatever you want to call it. So I don't know, like Richmond. If it, I hope to God they bring the car they had there in the spring.
They'd be
The dude
stupid
literally
not
drove
to.
from the back to the front. He drove from the back to the front
Hmm.
in the midst of like 60 laps. So
Yep.
yeah, yeah. And then like just to show that he can close when he beat, he drove it a mile into turn one and beat Hamlin.
Yeah.
So I hope I would love to see it. Like I will be a very excited human being, and it would be really nice to see him, win a championship in his hometown, and he's already justified uh, Junior picking him or
Hmm.
pitching him getting into the 88 to Rick Hendrick, and the faith Hendrick had, which that's impressive. Do one in a race car for a year, hardly at all. I think he ran 2 races the year before when Junior's final year.
Hmm.
Got in the 88, spent that whole year basically figuring it out. And then toward the end of the year, he got beat 3 times,
Three.
running second.
Hmm.
He lost the race, and then he beat Larson, ripping the top. Says something to me, man.
Hmm.
A lot of guys are picking Byron over and is the number Well, at the time it was the number 2, but really the number 3 at Hendrick now because
Yeah.
Chase Elliott, and Kyle Larson is setting the world on fire. But Bowman ain't won the races, or Byron ain't won the races Bowman has. I've not seen Byron be able to close on a late race restart like Bowman has. He's won at Super Speedway. Um, where else? He won somewhere else earlier this year. I don't remember where.
Yeah, I don't either. You think Mr. H
Anyways,
shakes up the crew chiefs over there at Hendrick in the off season?
no. I think he'll keep Cliff Daniels where he is, obviously. Rudy Fugel and William Byron are crushing it. Maybe Gustafson. I mean, if we're being honest, Gustafson has cost Chase a few races, but it's also not the playoffs. Is he trying things to see what might happen later on in the year? Because a lot of times when he would lose the races, he would lose those at tracks. He may not have been winning, but he was top 3 or 4 car,
Mm-hmm.
and he lost them at tracks that are in the playoffs. Was he trying stuff to thinking they may bring the same tire back, trying to learn something? You know,
Possibly.
and Greg Ives and Greg Ives was on the Dell Jr. download. And, he said very specifically, I've almost got Alex where I want him. He's been tuning Alex for a few years now. And you can hear, like, because I listen to the radio a lot, you can hear uh, Alex take ownership when that dude is a self-deprecating human being. He's hilarious, like very dry humor, Matt Kenseth-esque, and you can hear him, you know, try to shed credit, give it to his guys. When Greg did the thing at Richmond that he did with where he, I'm pretty sure he jacked the air pressures up and probably took some track bar out of it and made a qualifying run and said hang on to it.
Yeah.
That's what he did. He got him out far enough ahead to, 3 more laps and he'd have been hurting.
Oh yeah, for
But
sure.
Greg had, Greg on the radio, somebody's got to drive it. So good job. But
Yeah.
he goes, well, it's awful easy when I could drive 3 car lengths deeper into the corner. But that, and then their pit crew, man. I still think it's the fastest stop of the year they made at Dover.
Yeah.
They put a hurting on them.
I can't remember the time, but it was impressive. They were actually talking
Yep.
about that on Race Hub the other day.
They absolutely crushed that race. And then you got to factor in, like, Alex showed up too. Like, how hard did he fight Larson at Pocono to cause Larson to burn his shit up
Mm-hmm.
and eventually blow a tire? Like, you can't ask it. Like, Larson was faster by a lot. Um, but Bowman did the best he could. And you know what was crazy? Like, dude, coming out of 1 when Larson got by him, he's keying up, talking through the tunnel turn. And he's like, dude, guys, I'm sorry. I did all I could do. Self-deprecating, right?
Mm-hmm.
And uh, Kevin Hamlin, a spotter, as he lets off. Kevin Hamlin keys up and he goes, dude, shut the fuck up. The race ain't over. We still got 2 more corners here, right? So about then, and Larson wrecks. He blows his tire. Hamlin goes, say sorry now, motherfucker. Say sorry now. As he goes by him. And as Bowman crosses the finish line, he's like, awesome. Sucks for him. But dude, it was funny. But listen to Kevin talk mad shit to him. He's like, say sorry again. I want to hear it one more time. Tell me you're sorry. Basically, call me daddy. All but it was funny to listen to. Like, those dudes have a very interesting, we know 2 years ago at the Roval when Bubba, remember the whole incident with Bubba at the Roval
Mm-hmm.
when he dumped him like twice
Yeah.
and then right hooked him into the fence?
Mm-hmm.
Well, lap 1 on the backstretch, that bus stop, like, Bowman shit the bed. He owned it. He was like, my brain shit the bed, and I ran right to the back of him. Everybody was taking it slow. He just runs him over in the back, and they both go spinning. Well, I guess, and I remember listening to it on the radio. I was there that day. That race was fantastic, and Bowman was fast. He had a rocket ship, and he followed Bubba, and apparently Bubba had flipped him off all the way down the back straightaway for like 3 laps. At one point, he said he was flipping him off through 1 and 2 of the oval and through 3 and 4 of the oval, just in the window. And he goes, dude, if he flips me off again, I'm a. Guess what he did? He shipped him to the moon, right?
Elon
Well,
Musk.
he did, dude. Or, Jeff Bezos riding a dick to the moon or space. The Blue Origin is basically a fucking Viagra pill, man.
Fucking Viagra. Yeah. That shit's
But
funnier than hell, though.
yeah, so they're sitting under red after one of those big wrecks, and Kevin Hammond absolutely chews Alex's ass, like digs into it. Like, are we gonna sit here and like just fuck around all day, or you gonna take this fucking rocket ship you got and do something with it? And like, I mean, lit into him. Greg Ives sat back and let him argue it out, and says a lot to Greg Ives. He could have stepped in.
Yeah.
Mr. H could have stepped in. Heard that, which they probably had a meeting about that, I'm sure. But he was pissed. Like, dude, you got a fucking rocket ship here. Use it. Stop fucking playing fuck games. Let's go win this race. And I don't know why. I think he pissed off Alex. Like me and iRacing. I get mad. I'm usually 2/10 faster, right? Up until the time I shit the bed and wreck. And that's basically how it happened. Like I think another caution he'd had something for Chase Elliott that race, because that was the race Elliott like absolutely blew the dog shit out of turn 1 and fenced it into the Tums heartburn corner or whatever.
Yeah.
I was right there, dude, watching him do it. Absolutely blew the corner. It was so funny to watch. He just stabs that bitch in reverse and keeps digging. And then goes there and does a burnout in front of it and standing on the door, which is a fantastic celebration. But if the 48 hits on it, there's a hell of a chance that they could win it, but there's also a hell of a chance that they could find a way to shit the bed. So I don't know. I think we've talked a lot about NASCAR though.
Yeah.
We talk about all that really matters in this world.
So before we get off of racing and all that crap, just in case he watches, shout out Bobby McCarty doing the damn thing at Motor Mile last weekend, the Cars Tour. JJ finished second. Caden come home fourth, I think it was. But anyway, there's points battle over there's tightening up. Bobby McCarty's first, Caden's second, JJ's third. Go to Tri County, Florence, Wake County, Subo, and then freaking Rockingham in November. That's Crown of Champion. That's gonna be a badass fucking race. I can't wait.
You ever been to Rockingham?
No.
So I
Well,
only
I went when I was like little, but like I don't fucking remember it.
I was a freshman in high school. Me and Dad went in 2001. We went up there. We watched at the time Busch Series and the Cup race. The Busch Series race was
In '01, that was the week after Dale died. Is that right? We're junior.
no, this is the fall race.
Oh, the fall race. Okay.
I believe Kevin Harvick won the Busch Championship that year, and no shit, true story. I'm pretty Kenny Wallace won the race. I'd have to check, but I feel like I remember like he beat Jeff Green in a last lap on a last restart to win the race. I could be completely wrong. I might need you to check that for me. But
fact checkers are on it.
Yep, check for me. I'm pretty sure it was because I remember Kenny Wallace celebrating, which was like something to remember. Maybe he was really good in the Cup race. No. And I sat on the front stretch for the Xfinity race, and absolutely fantastic view the racetrack, watching him go through the different lines in the corners. And then I got to watch the pit crew competition, which was super cool. Well, I realized I didn't really pay much attention that the first day because I'm going to a racetrack. Well, the second day, is the Cup race, and we drive in, and then I realized how bad the traffic really is. You want to know why? Here's what really happened to Rockingham. There was 2-lane in and out of this joint.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a 4-lane, but it was pitiful. So we finally get there, and we're there, early before the race. I brought a football, and I found some kids in the parking lot and played football, throwing a football. The race happens. I think Joe Nemechek won it. He dominated it.
Yeah.
Did Kenny Wallace win that race?
Yeah,
Right?
it says here Wallace won the November 3rd, 2001 Busch race at Rockingham and had been chosen to replace the injured Steve Park and the DEI #1 car for the rest of the Winston
Yep.
Cup Series. In that race, Wallace led 101 laps but finished second to Joe Nemechek. Good memory, buddy.
He finished second,
He finished second in the Cup race, yeah.
but he won the
He run
Bush
the
race.
yeah, the Bush race.
Not bad, right?
Not bad.
I forgot that he the only wreck that happened that day was
Keep talking while you're talking about
Petty.
Kenny Wallace. I got something for you to gander
Kenny
at.
real quick.
Take
Oh, I'm excited.
Take a gander at this. So this.
Hey, I got one too.
I don't remember what year this
Move
was.
ahead. How come my camera looks backwards compared to yours?
I don't know. So.
Oh, dude, that's bitching. That is dope as hell.
So that was when he was in the Cox Dry Treated Lumber. The old Pontiac.
I like it.
Yeah. Friggin'. I love Kenny Wallace, man. He's fucking
hilarious. Dude, do
he's
you ever watch
awesome.
his like Twitter videos?
Oh,
I'm gonna do the same thing, so I'm not gonna be on camera for a second. I got something cool I found at the flea market to show you.
Yeah, he's and you talk about Joe Nemechek. So this was
front row.
Yeah, check that bitch out.
Oh, an old '87, way back in the day.
That's at quit you fucking camera. So that's at South Boston Speedway back in the.
Oh hell yeah.
That was back when I was 2 years old.
Shit.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is what happens whenever we get together. We find cool shit like across the world, and then we have to show each other what we have, and like it's like measuring wieners, but really it's just measuring diecast.
Which I wouldn't have any diecast if it wasn't for Shane. So let's throw that out.
Oh, I have a whole nother tote for you, by the way.
My mother-in-law saw all my freaking diecast. So Shane's been helping me replenish. So here you go. Here's fucking Bobby Labonte.
Which one is it?
Fucking.
Dude, I have an old Bobby Labonte like Dentine, I think Dentine Ice Xfinity car. I have that diecast. Believe it or not, that thing's worth a chunk. I don't know why that specific diecast or that specific serial number is worth a chunk, but it is. Well, I can't find it right now. I don't know what my wife's done with it, but what I found, dude, was a old 46 Chevrolet model car kit. Oh, that's badass, dude.
It's old Ricky Craven.
Dude, that was in the Xfinity series, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like I remember him running that. Yeah. I'll tell you what was really cool. The first race I ever went to was in 1991 or 2. Harry Gant, handsome Harry Gant, actually dominated it. He ended up not winning, but it was.
You remember this cat?
Hang on, let me see it.
Old Chuck Brown.
I'm not sure who that is. Oh yeah. Okay.
Old Chuck Brown. Yeah. Steve Grissom, Ward Burton. Oh, that's an old Ward Burton right there. That's when he drove the old Texas Pete.
Oh yeah, that was a dope scheme too.
Yeah.
I'll figure out how to turn my background off and flip my computer on. I have diecast above my sim rig. My wife, who shout out to her for being a badass, let me have diecast in a sim rig in the middle of our living room. You're a rock star, babe. I love you. But yeah, so these people ain't trying to watch us like bullshit about diecast and pictures.
Yeah, that's for later.
But yeah, I found a fucking old Cold Trickle City Chevrolet model car.
Oh, that's badass.
By the way, with the plastic on it.
That is badass.
In the box with the plastic on it.
That's badass.
And a Darrell Waltrip Western Union car.
Yeah, this is
model car.
Last one, and then I'll shut the fuck up. This is my newest collection item.
Oh, is that like real size? Oh, you bitch! I'd race with that bitch on. Like, have your fucking webcam on and put a mic in there and race with that shit.
You can. It's got a fucking thing in the head. It's got a thing in the head so you can't even like wear it, and it's got stickers all over it that
dude.
says "Do not wear."
Bitches.
All right, so yeah. So anyway, enough of NASCAR. Let's move into college football. Go ahead and talk about your
The only
Tennessee
thing that
Mullen
matters.
queers.
Do you hear they announced for a starting? Okay, just so y'all know, I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm a University of Tennessee football fan. I got real drunk in Germany. I have a orange T tattooed on my chest. I'm not proud of what I did, but I did it.
He's
And
also very excited that they backed out of facing us in a bowl game last year and didn't have to get that ass waxed again.
it doesn't matter. Even if they'd have won, freaking, they'd have had to forfeit it. We were giving out cash in McDonald's bags, apparently. Fuckers. By the way, I'm looking for a fatty cake. I'm kind of stoned. But yeah, I didn't find a fatty cake, but I did find another monster. So let me get sat back down on my rig. So the Josh Heupel era begins. You done any research on that dude yet?
Yep.
Former UCF coach, killer offensive mind. You know that dude was the QB coach and offensive coordinator for Sam Bradford in his Heisman Trophy year. Uh, I don't know if it was him or the dude before him that took UCF undefeated, but I'm hoping it was him. Which means he can take a team with maybe not 5 stars, but
Right.
a team that can compete. You know, we've had the rah guy Butch Jones, we've had the recruiter and Jeremy Pruitt who couldn't coach. I wasn't on a Jeremy Pruitt bandwagon to start with. For being honest, I never was. I feel like we had that conversation. I told you I thought he was be shit, but
Yeah, we did. We
and
yeah, and I completely agree with you. Capri Sun for the win.
oh, a little juicy juice
A
pouch.
little juice box. Cause I don't need another great healthy keto approved rowdy energy drink considering I need to go to sleep whenever this is over with. But oh,
Threw my other one
damn
away,
it, we should
but
have talked about that when we were on NASCAR. We'll talk about that another week.
what?
Monster made me think about it. Kurt Busch, 2311,
Yeah,
numbers to the front. Everyone's, oh, we have to look
I
here
love it.
instead of here now. Speaking of
I
Kenny,
advise
speaking of,
anyone that has Twitter to go check out Noah Sweet at Lefty.
oh,
I think it's at underscore Lefty, and that dude is absolute fire when it comes to creating paint schemes. And he redid the 45 and where the Monster Energy was located, and he did a bunch of other paint schemes for next year, and they are absolutely gorgeous. Um, looks better than this year. Are you douche fluting it?
yeah. Um, Kenny Wallace on Twitter. Speaking of Kenny, he made a fucking hilarious video. He's like, everyone's like, we have to look here now instead of here.
Yes, yes. Oh my god. I was about half drunk when I watched that dude. I've
Yeah,
never laughed that hard in my life.
yeah, he's a fucking trip. Um,
But
so
yeah,
yeah,
back to
back to
football.
football.
So they announced Joe Milton as quarterback. I went back and looked, dude, and I'm not that impressed. Like I had it pulled up here. I have it pulled up here on. There we go. Like, you know, his he played in 5 games in last year. He lost 4 of them. He beat Rutgers 48-42 in triple overtime. He was only 5 for 12 passing.
Yeah.
Uh, he lost against Indiana. He was 18 for 34 with two interceptions and 3 touchdowns. Like, he lost to Wisconsin, two interceptions. He got sacked 8 times and 141 pass attempts for,
Mm.
and in that it was 4 touchdowns and 4 INTs. Mind you, that could have been his QB rating was 124.6, which isn't bad. No, I'm sorry. His QB rating was 56.1. Never mind. That's bad. Compared to, I didn't think to look this up, but compared to me go check out Harrison Bailey's stats, the other quarterback. And I am high on Harrison Bailey. Um, he was in a shit offense anyways, but his oh wow, it's not any better. Okay, so he had 23 rushing attempts for minus 28 yards. He got sacked 11 times, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks. He was 48 for 68. That's not bad. 70% completion percentage for 578 yards. But that was in uh, his passer rating was a 155. That's not horrible. He went 6 for 6 against Texas A&M, 14 for 18 against Vandy, 14 for 21 against Florida. He had a pretty good game against Florida. 7 for 10 against Auburn. Like, he was more accurate. He was a gamer,
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like, I don't have a whole lot of faith in any of them. And you got Hendon Hooker, who I know absolutely nothing about, that played at Virginia Tech. But I know this. Like, I think I know Joe Milton's got the arm. Everybody had screaming about this dude's gun, but Tyler Bray had a gun. Oh, the best QBR on of all the Tennessee quarterbacks is a 69. That's Hendon Hooker. He was 98 for 150 for 9 TDs and 5 picks. Man, it's gonna be a rough year. But we got all the wide receivers you can need. They lost, I think it was 27 players to the transfer portal. Like, they lost most of all their starting linebackers. Like half their offensive line. Wow, I have something loud in my ears.
You're playing a video or something, aren't you?
I don't know, but it's so loud and I don't like it at all. Okay, God. But could you hear that?
But yeah.
It was loud in my ears. But was I saying? But they got a decent offensive line if they can, get to go. It's the Mays brothers, Cade and Cooper. They
Yeah.
lost. Darn it. Hell, I don't even remember. I ain't really looking. But they got a decent offensive line. Their defensive line returned everyone. It wasn't great, but neither was Jeremy. And he fired their defensive line coach like week 3, so they didn't get a whole lot of coaching last year, I'm sure. And their wide receiver room is probably the best room they got. They're decent. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're going to beat Bowling Green this week. They'll probably beat Vandy, and they might beat South Carolina. Other than that, I'm not very hopeful.
Really? You're only thinking you guys are going to win 3 football games?
Oh, I think they play South Alabama. Like, they might. You know what? If they go 6-6, I'll be happy. Just because, like, dude, they literally lost 29 dudes. Their best tackler left.
I'll be rooting for y'all on September 11th. You play Eat Shit Pitt.
Yeah, Pitt's not horrible either.
Oh, hey, you play Tennessee Tech on the 18th. They're right
Okay, I
here.
see here. Bowling Green's a win.
They're
Tennessee
right.
Tech win.
Hey, that's my college here in Cookeville. No, I'm just kidding. They suck.
South Alabama's a win. So what is that? That's 4.
Yeah, so Vandy, Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina, Missouri, Florida, Tennessee Tech, Pittsburgh, and Bowling Green.
They're not going to beat Alabama. That's a loss. They're probably not going to beat Georgia. That's a loss. They're probably not beat Florida. That's a loss. Lane Kiffin has about as much defense as Tennessee does, so that's going to be a fun game to watch. I'm not sure about Kentucky. Oh, did you hear about South Carolina? By the way, they have so much confidence in their QB room that they found a grad assistant that played for North Dakota State
Yeah, I saw
as their
that.
starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Big ups to him for earning the job. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's the Frank Beamer's kid from Virginia Tech. Like that dude's got a mind on him. Like he was the offensive coordinator for when Steve Spurrier was there, and he was a monster back in the God, I can't remember that kid's name. Their quarterback they had, like, was it Steven Garcia? That was so good.
I have no idea.
But I know it was back when they were 8 or 9 win team when Butch Jones beat them. But yeah, so yeah, no, I don't have high hopes in Tennessee. If they go 6-6, I'll be happy. If they go 7-5, dude, it'll be nuts. But I don't see it. I think I don't know enough about Pitt to say. Bowling Green was like, I think there's 130 teams in Division 1 college football. I think they're 125th in both offense and defense last year. Uh, I don't know enough about Tennessee Tech or South Alabama, but I'm pretty sure they're FCS teams.
Yeah,
But
it's
the rest of them, I'm not real. You know, Vandy's. I hate to say Vandy's Vandy because they've been good. Like they've not been good, but they've been as good as Tennessee the last few years. But I would really like to get them back to top 15 school like it was. I got spoiled as a kid, man. Watched them win all kinds of SEC championships and national championship, and Peyton Manning and Casey Clausen and Eric Ainge and all the greats they had, and then now we got crickets.
yeah.
Eric Berry. Oh my God, how good was Eric Berry in
Oh
college?
God,
Dude, he was a monster.
Eric
And
Berry was the business.
Al Wilson. Dude, they had such good defensive. They were wide receiver U, man. Fearless, peerless, and more recently Cordell Patterson and Justin Hunter, and they're talking like these dudes they got now, like Velus Jones, who played Tennessee last year, but before that he was at USC. They're really high on him. He's quick, dude. Jalen Hyatt's fast, super tall dude. High points the ball, can catch the shit out of it. We're just gonna find somebody to rip it and not rip it to the other team.
Yeah.
But I've not done any research on West Virginia because I mean it's West Virginia, and I forgot to. But I'm they have a new coach, don't they?
Yeah, we're going into year 3 with Neil Brown.
Oh yeah, that's right. Whatever happened to old Dana?
He's down at Houston.
He's like a bad ex-girlfriend, isn't he?
I mean, I guess it depends who you ask.
I mean, it could be worse, man. It could be Jerry Pruitt, like the ex-girlfriend that left you with the clap.
Well, that's one thing us West Virginia fans can relate to. A lot of people still hate Rich Rodriguez for leaving us for fucking Michigan back in the day, but
How'd
uh,
that work out for him?
he's a fucking. Actually, no, no, no. He's got him a head coaching gig now. I forgot where. Uh,
That's not saying much. So does Butch Jones.
uh, he went to Arizona. Uh, I think it was. Yeah, because he left us, went to Michigan, then he went to Arizona. Yeah, Louisiana Monroe is where he's at now, and he's the assistant head coach and offensive coordinator at Louisiana Monroe. Ain't that where Bobby Boucher played? No, I'm just kidding. Uh,
It might have been.
no, they were like Louisiana something something. Um, but yeah, so like yeah, Dana's at freaking Houston. They got a Big 12 opponent. They play Texas Tech Saturday. That's gonna be interesting. Dana used to, if I'm not mistaken, he was a freaking OC at Tech. A lot of people.
It's Red Raiders, right? Or
Grant used to hate him, especially watching his press because like we used to watch all the we watched the weekly press conferences and shit, and Dana's like real raspy and like he's constantly like fucking coughing and shit, and he used to get so goddamn annoying. And like one of the first press conferences Neil Brown did,
smoking them cigarettes.
Grant was like, "Thank God we don't have to listen to somebody go every 2 fucking seconds." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm with you." But yeah, so we're going into year 3 with Neil Brown. We got to go into College Park on Saturday and play Maryland, uh, who's shit stacked with a lot of 4 and 5 star kids.
Maryland?
Yeah,
Who the hell's their
Uh,
Maryland hasn't been good since the '90s, have they? It's like Syracuse.
I don't know. I do know they got a bunch of good kids. Michael Loxley is their coach,
Never heard of him.
and I don't know who their coordinators are. They got all new coordinators compared to last year, but Neil Bramwell was talking today in his press conference, or yesterday in his press conference. Uh, they got a lot of kids that they got a lot of athletes. Not really a lot of like star players or shit, but they got a lot of athletes. Uh, but yeah, so we head down there, friggin' uh, had a lot of hope for Garrett Green, but they named Jared Dagey our fucking starting quarterback, so that should be interesting. Lady Brown's gonna lead our
What's
freaking running game. Do
what's the
what?
word on that quarterback? How is he?
Uh, if he can find some consistency, I'd I'd be okay with him. Uh,
Is he one of those that got a gun? He just happens to throw it to the other team
yeah,
every now and then.
he got which Grant used to fucking kill me every time I said it because Grant can't stand Skylar Howard. But a couple years ago, we had this kid, Skylar Howard. He's a little short guy, like not built to be a quarterback at all, but had a lot of heart and loved West Virginia, even though like a lot of people fucking hated his guts. Um, but dude had a fucking killer arm, could fucking sling it, put it on a dot. He was so inconsistent. He threw a lot of incompletions and a lot of times threw it to the other team's defense
That's a
quite a
no go.
bit. And but yeah, that's kind of what Jared Deggy reminds me of. I just need more consistency. I need Letty Brown and freaking Mathis, our running backs to fucking do the damn thing. Uh, we're going into our first year without the Stills brothers. We still have one of the brothers, but the other one's uh, I meant to look and see if he actually got cut or not. But yeah, we got Bryce Ford Wheaton and that freaking Winston Wright Jr. They're both. His name is Winston Wright Jr. They're both junior classmen, so we get them for another year if they don't go to the NFL. Um, but yeah, we're coming together. We're trusting the climb, as old freaking Neil Brown would say. Uh,
Brick by brick, baby.
yeah, fucking. He's recruited like he's turned our recruiting around. Uh, And speaking of Dana, Dana used to say you can't recruit kids to West Virginia, which is kind of funny because Dana's went out and got us a lot of kids. Uh,
Clearly, you can't if you're Dana Holgerson.
Dana would get like he'd bring us freaking a couple superstar like a good quarterback and a good wide receiver, but you can't freaking well you can win in the Big 12 with that because
Who's
nobody has defense, but still,
who is their quarterback? Will Greer.
yeah he got
That dude can grip it and rip it.
yeah we had but before we had Will we had old Trick Daddy old Clint Trickett. Uh, then
Yeah, I liked him.
we had for yeah his dad's our tight ends coach. Uh, and Trickett. Last I knew, he was down at FAU. I don't know if he's still down there or not. Old Trick guy, I love him. He hurt his neck,
Ooh.
got all fucked up and couldn't play anymore. No,
So,
he's at Marshall. He's a wide. Oh, you went to Little Brother. He's a wide receivers coach at Marshall. Huh?
little brother.
Yeah, Marshall. I mean, uh, but yeah,
So my grandparents used to live in Ashland, Kentucky, before they passed away, and which is, from my understanding, like 30 minutes from Marshall, maybe an hour. And uh, I was there when I was visiting them when Randy Moss,
was the
right? Randy
business
Moss
at
was at Marshall.
Yeah, when yeah.
Him and Chad Pennington were the absolute fire.
Mhm.
Well, I've never seen so much thundering herd in that. I don't know why I like that color green. I always have. I've always liked their jerseys. Like when you're a kid, like aside from everything around here being orange and white,
Yeah.
like any other team, it's like, man, those jerseys are fire. Like I really like that helmet. You know, the thundering herd sounds kind of like I was like a low key Marshall fan for like 15 minutes one time. But and then there's a really good movie about when a bunch of their team died in a plane crash or something back in the 70s with
Mhm.
Matthew McConaughey. All right.
Yep.
By the way, someone said that the content that you tagged in the stream isn't loading.
What
Old
content?
buddy Adam Acton. I don't know your Streamlabs page. I just want to let you know that. But while you look at that, they're making a bowl this season, or they going 8-4. What are we looking at? Because I was looking at their schedule. I don't know who LIU is.
Uh
But
yeah, so we got Mark. I think we're going to win. I think we beat Maryland. We beat LIU, we beat Virginia Tech. Probably take an L to Oklahoma. Uh
yeah,
I think we beat Texas Tech. Baylor's up in the air. TCU.
is
And
ba- is, I know last year Baylor was when you guys played them was ranked number 7. I think. Yeah, you guys only lost by 3.
mhm.
I don't even know who their coach is or anything about Baylor right now, so I can't comment. Or TCU for that matter. How's TCU? Are they like
Uh
TCU old, or I know y'all beat them last year by 3.
yeah, no, they're still kind of they're in the rebuilding process.
I heard
Uh
Iowa State's really good this year.
Iowa State has been scary good for the last couple of years. Like they kind of they kind of pissed me off. We went up there, I think it was 2 years ago, and we had a lead, and then we let them freaking just come back and kick our teeth in it. It really made me mad. But freaking Matt Campbell is,
In 19,
yeah, I think it was 19.
when they beat y'all 38-14, like they put a hurting on y'all.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, they got what's that kid? I can't remember his name. Anyway,
Why do
they
they not have any stats for 20? You guys not play last year?
they've they've got a they got a really good program up there. Um, Texas probably gonna win that game. Kansas, we should win that game. Really and truthfully, I know I said a lot in that, but yeah, I think we're probably gonna take four loss. I think would be a good year for us because we're like I said, we're going into year 3 with Neil Brown, and we finally have got his team that he's went out and recruited, and uh, even though they couldn't do shit last year because of COVID, um, everything around campus is we had a really good freaking spring and fall camp. So I'm pretty excited to see kind of what's going on. The biggest ordeal with us was our quarterback battle going into fall camp. Obviously, Letty Brown's gonna have to carry us, so we don't necessarily have to, so we can have a balanced offense, so we don't have to fucking put everything on Deggy. Um, but uh, they were saying freaking uh, Letty is probably going to be like 40% of the weight on offense. So we got to keep him healthy. And then our defense, uh,
40%?
yeah.
Hope he got strong legs.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fucking good runner, but, um, friggin' Casey Legg, I know it's kickers and special team stuff, but it'd be reminisce if I didn't talk about Pat McAfee and uh, greatest dude of all time, even though he cost us a national championship. Still love him. Um, but
He's a
anyway,
trip, dude. I love his
yeah. So Evan
for the
Staley's
brand.
for the brand, motherfucker. Evan Staley's our kicker. fucking blew out his knee last year or some shit, something to his leg. Um, but I guess Neil Brown said today he's gonna do our kickoff stuff, but Casey Legg is gonna handle all of our PAT, field goal stuff, and then obviously Sumter will be our punter. But yeah, that's kind of interesting because Staley's been really inconsistent and Casey Legg's been rather consistent. So I'm glad uh, Neil Brown's not afraid to make that switch because it needs to happen. But yeah,
That's
fucking
actually
three.
something I missed there. Um, so I was when I was we were talking about this outreach, because we were talking about tennis. Apparently, they got USC's kicker. I can't remember the kid's name, but they've been in track since he showed up on campus. On campus in the winter. This dude has missed one kick since December in all the practice,
That's pretty fucking
scrimmages,
good.
everything. Dude's missed one kick. He doesn't make but like 3 kicks all year because that's the tennis.
Yeah, that's
But yeah, I was reading that. And I was like, holy shit, dude, that dude can kick. But I mean, I like Pat McAfee. He's a badass. Uh, you know, Colts and Peyton Manning tie there.
Oh,
Uh,
dude, back when he was still in the NFL, fucking listening to Pat McAfee and Adam Vinatieri, because that they made up the Colts special teams program, and it's fucking hilarious. He says one time he talks about him and Peyton, they were at a bar somewhere, and Peyton pretty much got everybody in the bar drunk. It's fucking hilarious
for the brand.
for the brand. I have seen Peyton
So,
Manning at Tootsie's in Nashville, fucking singing Rocky Top. That was pretty. I wasn't in Tootsie's, but I was down the road and heard about it. Everybody swarmed Tootsie's because Peyton Manning's here. So
all right, so I got a bet for you
what's up?
while we're still on college football. So we can either do overall record or we can take this week by week. But we're gonna make pick, right?
Yep.
Here very shortly about college football, NFL, NASCAR, whatever.
Mhm.
The loser
Oh, here we go. The loser what?
has to sing the other team's uh fight song, either West Virginia or Rocky Top. I don't know what West Virginia's is, but I know a Rocky Top. On Sapper Thoughts. Yep.
Live into the Facebook world.
Yep.
I
Just say yes.
I ought to just end this stream and delete you off my Facebook, you fucking asshole.
Come on, dude. It'll be funny, and it's something we can keep
Oh,
track
it's
of.
funny. What's not funny is you don't even know our fucking Country Roads is our fucking song.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I like country roads. How did I forget about that? Freaking Doc McDowell, man,
I don't, that,
used to bust into my room because we would play. God, I miss that dude. We would play me, him, and a bunch of other dudes. We had I think it was a $10 buy-in downrange. This was second deployment in 2011. We all had like a big $10 buy-in, like it was NCAA 09 was 09 or 11 the last year they made that game, or 10. I don't remember, but it was whatever the last EA Sports NCAA game was, right?
that's 14.
Was it?
Mhm.
So I guess it was at the time 11, but we two or three of us had it on Xboxes, so we busted out brackets. Um, I feel like there was probably 10 of us, 15 of us. So there was a chunk of dollars in there. Like it was $10 buy-in. It wasn't a whole lot, but and you could rebuy. So it ended up being like what? What's 15 times 10? $150. So probably $300 in this thing.
Mhm.
Which for a bunch of dudes who had a day off during maintenance days playing video games, and $300 is $300. But so my first loss came at the hands of Doc, right?
Right?
He beat me. This dude just leaves. Doesn't say a word, drops the sticks, walks the fuck out. What the hell? Right? I hear nothing from him for like a day, day and a half. Like we always went to chow together.
I was gonna say that's
Like
impressive.
dude just dude just avoided me. You know, what the hell's going on? Middle of the night, like not the night that he beat me, the next night. Kicks my door in, fucking screaming at the top of his lungs like 2 o'clock in the morning at country roads.
Hmm.
I just look at him, confused as hell. Like, what the fuck is going on?
That's awesome.
God, I miss that dude. Oh yeah, dude. Like, me and Roach would take turns kicking his fucking door in. He'd wake him up for chow, and Roach would just kick the door in and go, medic! And Doc would fall off the bed. It's funny as hell. Poor guy. I'll kick the door in screaming Rocky Top or fucking throwing shit at him or whatever. God, I miss that dude. He was, for those that don't know, Doc McDowell was the largest human being I've ever met in my life. But that large human being had the biggest heart and was one of the best friends best people I've ever met in my life. And he was a diehard, and by God, I mean diehard West Virginia fan. We had talked for years about how we were going to go to a game next time West Virginia played Tennessee. And the year before they played in Charlotte, he actually he passed away, so I didn't get to go to that game with him. But I watched that game and I rooted for West Virginia. I'll never do that again. I know they're playing. I think here in a few more years, we need to go ahead in Charlotte. We need to go ahead and schedule that. We need to go to that one. Get real drunk.
Be a good
Yep.
time.
Yeah, it will.
Be a good
I think it's
time.
at Panthers. Was it Bank of America Stadium? Panther Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. God, it'd be a hot motherfucker in August though. Why can't they do that shit inside? Like, hell, I don't know. Let's go to Atlanta. At least it'll be Saturday. Can you believe they have a Chick-fil-A stadium that plays football on Sundays and they don't even sell Chick-fil-A on Sundays?
Right. Do they at
Like
least
that's
have
never been lost on me.
do they at least have like a little Chick-fil-A outlet place inside of the
Stands?
stadium that but they're open on
No, they
Sundays?
absolutely do. That is nope, closed on Sundays. That's God's chicken, buddy. Hey, that's the Sabbath.
I guess.
Now, that's what I've heard. Like I've never actually been there, but I always thought that was entertaining. Like Chick-fil-A everywhere.
You've never
And I
ate
was like, wait a
Chick-fil-A?
minute.
Or
No, I have,
oh,
but
I was about to
what?
slap you.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. What I always found amusing was like they had like Chick-fil-A things inside this stadium,
Right?
and I'm like, but they play on
They play on
Sunday.
Sunday? Yeah. Maybe they
How's that
stock them.
gonna work?
Maybe they stock them like right before midnight and hope they stay warm.
Cold
and,
ass chicken
and
sandwiches,
fucking hope
price
and
of
pray.
admission, they give them away.
Yeah, hope they've got a fucking like 11 o'clock kickoff or something.
Could you imagine a night game? How stale and biscuits would be?
Oh,
I don't know that I'd care though.
it's the Lord's chicken, man. It's like
My wife made some Jimmy Jam with like their like it was like some kind of fries they got, like waffle fries. They got waffle fries,
yeah,
right?
they got waffle
Am I thinking of the
fries.
same place? Yeah, and like she bought like the biggest thing of waffle fries, like two or three of them, a bunch of chicken and a bunch of other shit, and she made like this conglomerate fuckery that was so good. I need to dog. I need to tell my wife to make that again. I'm gonna message her right now.
Look, look, you're famous. You want a dog?
So
Does
no,
anybody want
I
a
got
dog?
pig.
She's free.
What if I get my pig up here?
I'll give her to you. She listens pretty good too. She needs to go outside though.
Yeah, she when I dropped off all that diecast that day, she was inside and she sounded so fierce. Maybe she was outside. I don't
Oh,
remember,
she
but
was
she was
outside.
away from she
She
was away from me, and she sounded so fierce. And then she comes up and like pees a little and loves me.
yeah.
Like, you're a trip, dude.
Yeah, there was one day I let her outside, right? And there was a fucking wild hog out back. And she starts fucking barking at it, whatever, and like comes and runs behind me and starts barking. And I'm like, no, 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 this is not how this works. If you want to go, go. So like I push her towards the end of the porch or whatever,
Roar, roar, roar.
and like she misses the steps and goes down into the little gravel walkway thing I have coming from the driveway up to the porch. And she takes off towards this pig and like it grunts at her. And so like she takes off running. She's in those little gravels, by the way. And it's one of those things like in cartoons where like their legs are moving really, really fucking fast, but they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like that, slipping all in the gravel, pissing everywhere, come all the way back up the steps, like pissed the entire way from the gravels up behind me and in between my legs, still pissing. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, I have an idea. I'm just saying, I have a pig.
A death match?
I'm sorry, cute. I don't think it's got a chance, man. My pig's a vicious little hateful bitch. Hateful as hell, just like her mama. God, I hope she doesn't watch this. No, she's not hateful like her mama. She's stubborn like her mama. But what were we? What are we talking about? Did we put a bow tie on West Virginia yet?
What?
Put a bow tie on West Virginia yet?
Why?
I don't know if we were finished talking about it. We're still going with it.
Oh no, we're gonna let's make a we're at an hour 31 right now.
Let's do some predictions, man.
Yeah. All right,
So we're
so
gonna go spread or just overall win loss.
we'll do an overall win loss week throughout the season.
Yeah, but we're doing this. We're doing this bet, right?
Is it over the season or every week we'll come up
I
with
think we
something
do it
new?
every week, man. At
All right.
least the first time, and then we can find something else to do once we both lose.
Okay. So
So we get some. We got to keep track of this somehow.
yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm about to write it down.
You know, we should
Uh
totally like edit this down and try to submit it for like a grade and full sale.
oh, that would not be good.
Why would it not be good, dude? Hey, I would
I'd
so much rather do that than homework.
Oh, I would too. I would have to bleep out so much and edit it down with get all the uhs and ums and make sure I'm looking at the camera, all that stuff they grade you on, you know.
Oh, they really do that?
Maybe the next one I'll be more professional. All right,
You
so
can wear like ties and shit.
uh you're lucky I put my hoodie on. I don't even have a here you go, ladies. I don't even have a shirt on. I just
Dude, do
threw
you
my
not forget the conversation we had about whether I wanted to wear pants or not?
probably should put pants on. Yeah, it might be a good idea, motherfucker. Unless you're not getting up out of
Yeah.
your chair. All right, so here's the are we gonna go off of those games we talked about before we went on the air?
Yeah, man. If you got a list of them, just call them out. We'll just
All right, so
uh,
are we gonna include the West Virginia and Tennessee games every week?
yeah.
Okay, so West Virginia, Maryland. Who you got? We're gonna do scores or
Uh,
just win loss?
yeah, I don't know the spread. I'm assuming you didn't research the spread, so we'll just go win loss.
Yeah.
Next week we can. I'll have the spread and stuff, and we can. We ain't got to worry about the overall score, but
All right, sweet.
uh, we can. Do we beat the spread? I don't know enough about them, but looking. When's the last time they played? They played last year.
No. We played a couple years ago.
That's what I was looking to see. Oh God, I went back far enough to see that they beat Tennessee 40-14 in Charlotte. That's no dice. You know what? I'm gonna go West Virginia.
All right.
You seem to know more about them, so I trust you on that.
Yeah, I hope so, because I'm gonna trust you and go with UT if you pick UT.
Dude, it's Bowling Green, and I
It's
do, most
it's
certainly.
It is UT we're talking about. All right, so Shane's picking WVU. Danny,
Hell yeah.
obviously, WVU. All right, so you're gonna take UT over
Yep.
Bowling Green. I'm gonna take UT over Bowling Green.
Yeah, I do know the spread on this. It's 34.5.
34 and a half.
Yeah, I also did a lot of research to find out that Tennessee has only beat the spread over the course of the last, I think, 2 years, like 4 times.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's it, dude.
Wow. All right, so these
Yeah.
other games I got. Um, LSU and UCLA. LSU dishomed for a little bit, from what I hear, but they go out to
Yeah.
California and play UCLA this weekend.
Yeah, they're currently in Cowboys Stadium practicing.
A lot of freaking top 25 teams playing one another this week, which is
Yeah, that's a
interesting.
playoff weekend, man.
I love it.
Uh, I think the SEC gonna do SEC things, man. UCLA did look good last week, though. They also have a game underneath their belt, so I think it'll be a lot closer. I think it's gonna be a super close game.
Hmm.
I think LSU will pull it out.
Shane's gonna go with LSU.
I don't know. I know nothing about their quarterback. I know nothing about their team. I know Edwards Orgeron will find a way to fuck it up, but I'm gonna go with LSU and be wrong.
Uh, I don't know anything about either one of the teams, but I like their head coach and the way he talks like the dude off Joe Dirt. So I'm gonna go LSU on that one.
Yeah, is there a better coach for LSU than Ed Orgeron?
No, dude, no. Like
Like, I can't believe. Can you believe? Wasn't he the head coach of USC at one point? And they're like, "No, you gotta get your podunk ass out of here."
I thought it was like his voice being I thought it was his voice being unique or whatever
Oh, he's
until until I was watching the hurricane stuff.
yeah.
Um, and they had a sheriff on down there, and he was talking the same way, and I'm like, I
Just
guess
like
it's
him.
just a fucking Louisiana thing. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Um, all right. So next will be Notre Dame and Florida State. Pick wisely, or
And
Tony Sanders is gonna kill you on this pick.
unless Chris Winkie walks through the door, I'm gonna have to go with Notre Dame.
Oh God, Tony, I love you,
By the way,
buddy.
Chris,
Go ahead.
by the way, Chris Winkie was the dumpster fire of QB coach that was for Tennessee last year.
uh, Tony, love you, buddy, but I'm going Notre Dame on this one as well.
Oh, is he a Florida State fan?
Yeah, he's a
Oh God, he's a glutton for punishment like me. We all remember the late '90s and early 2000s, and everything else just fucking sucks. Minus Jameis Winston.
stealing fucking lobsters and shit.
Dude, lobster's good, man. That's just expensive. I get it.
Fucking cracks me up. Motherfucker. Give motherfucker some glasses. Maybe he wants to throw so many goddamn interceptions. Fucking blind as a bat. Um, Clemson and Georgia. That's in your neck of the your realm of
Yeah,
schools you see
I've
every
thought
year.
about this a lot. I've thought about this a lot. I mean, they don't have Clemson doesn't have Trevor Lawrence anymore. I guess their QB signed a big old NIL uh, contract too. But when Trevor Lawrence, I don't know, dude. When Trevor Lawrence was hurt though, he balled out. But I think Georgia has the old USC quarterback who lit the world on fire before he lost the job. Named JT Daniels, I think's his name. Uh, Kirby has a problem showing up in big games, so I'm gonna go with Clemson. But this is one to keep in mind because if Georgia does win and loses to Alabama, they just made their way into and that's the only other game they lose. That's a pretty good chance that they may make it into the playoffs. Be two SEC teams because Alabama's good. Duh.
Okay. I'm gonna I'm gonna go out on Broadway here, and I'm gonna take UGA. Just
I wanted to so bad, but man, Kirby Smart in big games, either absolutely shows up or absolutely shits a bed. There's no middle.
Let me see who's. I want to. Fuck. What time is that game? 6:30
I'm no.
on
Is that?
ABC. Wonder who's gonna call it. Kirk Herbstreit
Uh,
and Chris Fowler.
yeah,
Okay, should have known. All right.
yeah. It's
Is that
Clemson, man. They'll be on ABC.
is that where is that where game day is gonna be this week for that
I'm
game?
not. Here's the thing. I'm not sure. Like Tennessee plays tomorrow night, and that's kind of been the focus. Because after that, I don't really care. I know SEC Nation is going to be in Neyland for the opener in Thursday, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, college.
I know them playing on Thursday allows me to go fishing Saturday. That's kind of thought.
Also, it's in Charlotte, so neither one of them get really home field advantage.
Yeah, it's kind of yeah, it's 50-50.
Even though Clemson's only like 20 minutes from Charlotte, but uh, yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna go.
I, I,
I'm gonna go
I
UGA
still
on that
think
one.
I still think Dabo Sweeney does Dabo Sweeney.
Oh, I'm completely with you, but I don't want to tie in the first week, and I'm gonna go out on a limb, and that's probably gonna be my Rocky Top song right there, because I think we're gonna agree on the rest of our picks. But Bama and
It'll always
Miami.
be home sweet home to me. I mean,
I'm already penciling in your answer, but
hate saying this. I hate saying this.
who's gonna win,
I mean,
Shane? That one
I
red
mean, it's going to
team,
be Alabama. It's that red team. It's not. Look, they've
coached by a
got,
West Virginia
in my
boy.
opinion, the best linebacker Tennessee has had since probably AJ Johnson. And Jeremy Pruitt absolutely shit the bed on that dude. Henry To'oTo'o,
Yeah.
he's a monster. He is a full-on quarterback of the defense. He he's quick. He makes quick decisions. He's a great ball. He'll be ready to play. And
So
with a little Nick Saban coaching, like
the spread's 18.5 with an over under of 62.
I'm gonna take the under. I don't know how bad or good Miami's defense is, but it's Alabama. I know Nick Saban will go on the throttle if he can, though. I also don't know about their quarterback. Yeah, Mac Jones got hurt last year a little bit, so he played. He was pretty good against. He wasn't pretty good against Tennessee either. He about shit the
Packer.
bed against Tennessee, and it was Jeremy Pruitt, Tennessee. Any other coach, they might have had a chance. Um,
Bryce Young, is that his name?
yeah, I'm still going with Alabama though. I mean, Nick Saban's Nick Saban. It's
Uh,
like saying you're gonna think Tom Brady's gonna lose. It's just,
he does sometimes.
I mean, the sun shines on a dog's ass occasionally too.
Yeah, I'm obviously going to take Alabama in that game. Wisconsin versus the little boy touchers up there at Penn State University.
The Kitty Diddlers.
Yeah,
James Franklin's still the coach up there, isn't he?
I'm not sure.
I think he is. Where they at?
Yeah, James Franklin's coach. Penn State
Wait,
versus
Wisconsin and Penn State, aren't they both
Big
Big
Ten.
12? They are.
Hmm. Big
They're having
Big
a conference game week 1.
Big Ten. Big Ten. Big Ten.
Damn, could you imagine a conference game week 1?
It is it is at Wisconsin. Matchup predictor according to ESPN's Football Power Index has Wisconsin 70 or 57.3%, Penn State 42.7. The spread is 5.5. Over under is 50. Money line is, well, money line doesn't matter, but spread's 5.5. Over and under is 50. And let's see, last year, what they do last year?
I think Penn State wins it, but and
No, apparently they're not in the same conference. Wisconsin's in the Big Ten. Where the fuck is Penn State?
They're
What are they in?
not in Pac-12, are they? No. Are they in ACC?
No, Big Ten. Wisconsin's Big Ten, but they didn't play last year.
Are they Big 12?
Maybe they don't. Well, technically, does the SEC? Do y'all play every team in the conference? See, the Big 12's the
Nope.
only conference that does, I think. All right, so going back 2 years, last time they played, Penn State won 22 to 10. You're gonna go Penn?
Yeah. Um, I'm assuming the spread has Wisconsin
Spread's got
-5.
yeah -5.
So clearly, I expect Penn State to cover and win overall.
Yeah, yeah,
But if I was
minus.
betting, I would take the points and Penn State to cover and just go with that. But I think Penn State will beat them.
You take the over. Hold on, you're gonna take the over, and they're gonna cover the spread. Wow, big man, big man.
Of course, they're going to cover the spread if they win overall. They're going to beat the spread.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, because it's -5, which means in order for Penn State to not beat the spread, Wisconsin would have to win by more than 5. So if Penn State wins overall, they beat the spread. They'll cover the points.
Yeah, true. It's
Yeah,
a number 12 and number 19 matchup, by the way. I'm gonna take Wisconsin.
I know shit about those teams.
Yeah,
I know James Franklin was the only good coach at Vanderbilt.
I like Badgers. I don't know.
I'll never forget Derek Dooley was like, we do, we always do, and what we're supposed to do is beat Vanderbilt. And the next year, James Franklin took Vanderbilt and beat the dog piss out of Tennessee, and goes to his press conference with the biggest fucking pair of nuts I've ever seen on a man, and go, "That's what's supposed to happen. That's what we're supposed to do. Beat Tennessee." And I was like, "I'm a fan. Can you please come over to the orange and white now?" But he didn't. What's the next game we got?
That's all the ones I had wrote down. I'm sure there's more.
So we're getting close to 2 hours, ain't we?
Yeah, we're at a hour 47.
So I say we talk about Cam, and then we do NFL picks.
Sure deal.
All right, so those of y'all that may not know, Cam Newton got released by the Patriots. Belichick did Belichick things in his press conference where he mumbled and grumbled and didn't make any kind of comments until he was asked about COVID-19 vaccinations. And I don't remember the exact quote. I had it on my phone and it just went away. But it was the only thing he decided to expound upon was COVID-19 vaccinations and how he, it matters and it affects. I don't remember. I'd have to look at it before I misquoted. But he essentially said that they are going to have an effect on the year. Not necessarily what Urban Meyer said, where he said, and may very well get fined, where he said, they came in his decision-making process on who to cut. The NFLPA is going to eat that dude alive. But that's okay because Urban Meyer don't give a fuck, and I respect that. But yeah, do you think Cam Newton goes anywhere? Anybody will pick him up?
I think that if there's a team down in Texas that could potentially have interest, and either one of the teams really, because one of my notes I had wrote down was the Houston Texans do not plan to make a trade for Deshaun Watson, and we're going to put him on the 53-man roster, even though Deshaun wants the fuck out of
He
Houston.
made he made the 53-man roster.
And so, well, yeah. Um, so, and then the Cowboys with Dak, they're all wishy-washy about what happened to his arm and all that shit. Apparently they're content with their backup situation down there, but uh, thankfully, uh, Ron Rivera came out and said that the Washington football team has no interest in Cam Newton, and we're gonna stick with Fitzmagic. So kudos to them. But like I said, either one of those two teams down in Texas, I think Cam Newton might be able to provide some services because the dude looks like he's in the best shape I've seen him in a long time. And uh, until old Uncle COVID came last year, I was excited to see what him and Bill Belichick could do together. But it is what it is. Mac Jones is gonna do Mac Jones, fucking stand shirtless, let his beer gut hang out, and smoke fucking cigars, and tell everybody to go fuck themselves. So yeah, we're in for a Patriots dynasty, I think, as long as they could keep weapons around him. But um,
I hope
I hope not
so.
either.
You're thinking he get one of them Texas teams?
No, no, I don't think he will. But I'm just saying, if the teams that need quarterback services, either one of those two teams, I think Cam would fit pretty good in with. I'm not saying he'll go to either one of them.
Okay,
I don't think he
so
gets
I
signed.
look.
I don't think he gets signed. That's my opinion. But
I think he does, and um, here's my odd prediction because you ever listen to the Locked On podcasts?
mm-mm.
They're really quite good. Each NFL team, each college football team has an insider, right?
Mhm.
Um, and I was listening to the Titans. Well, I listened to a few. I'm listening to Titans, Colts, um, uh, Broncos.
Yeah.
Notice there's a Tennessee thing there. Um, the Steelers because of Dobbs, um, and
Real quick, what was the name of this?
Locked On, like UT's is Locked On Balls, Locked On Titans for the Titan one. I'm assuming it'd be like Locked On Washington Football Team. You know, they're not Redskins anymore. How have they not picked damn name yet? That's a
I don't.
different conversation. But while you're looking, I was looking at the 53-man roster for the Titans. Okay, we
Mhm.
all know. Um, what the fuck was his name? My brain just shit the bed and I forgot the Titans quarterback.
Ryan Tannehill.
Uh, Tannehill. Yeah. Well, he's currently out with COVID, and the Titans are smart as shit, and so he's not on their 53-man roster. He's on the injured list
The pup list.
or
Yeah.
the pup list.
Mhm.
So their two quarterbacks on their 53-man roster are Matt Barkley and Logan Woodside. Yeah. So I would like to think that um, one Cameron Newton would be an upgrade from Matt Barkley and Logan Woodside. Because I want you to think about something. Could you imagine being on a defensive line or a linebacker, looking across the line of scrimmage, and you see Derrick Henry's big ol' ass and Cam Newton, like that? God, please give the ball to us. You know what I mean? Is there a big fullback we can give the ball to? Because this is about to hurt either way. And even if he wasn't to play, like he would be a nice change of pace guy. Maybe hell, I'd put him in as running back, big as he is, but I don't think he'll play. Like Tim Tebow lost a bunch of money because he chose not to play or fullback. But I think the Titans needed to look at him. I don't know if they will, but they need to. But they're brilliant with their 53-man roster, and they're not the only ones that doing it either. COVID is holy shit. Luke Stalker plays for the Titans, old Tennessee tight end. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they got a beast of a linebacker named David Long Jr. who old prodigy of West Virginia. Actually, I'm going to the Titans Chiefs game, and um uh I've got me a David Long Jr. uh jersey coming. That's like like one half of it is the Titans jersey, and then the other half is like his West Virginia jersey. So
That's badass.
yeah,
Where'd you find that?
uh, I seen it. I seen it on Facebook. Uh, some I guess I was talking about West Virginia and the Titans, and lo and behold, 2 seconds later, it showed up on my Facebook feed as a sponsored ad because the government always listens to what the fuck you're talking about.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I'll send you the link to it. Um,
Holy shit! Their Titans long snapper also played at Tennessee named Morgan Cox. But
oh, that's a remind me to tell you that joke when we're not live and Morgan can't hear it. You with me? You
yeah,
picking up what I'm
I
putting
know
down?
nothing, honey.
Just Morgan and Cox in the same sentence. I was gonna make a joke, but I'm not gonna embarrass anybody. Speaking of which, Joe Rogan did the podcast with Travis Barker. You should listen to it. Nah,
Really?
yeah, I listened to it last night because I'm a big Blink 182 fan. Shout out to my older brother Grant who got me into Blink back in the day. Uh, you know where the 182 and Blink 182 comes from without googling it?
I'm assuming it's their area code from wherever they're from.
Nope. It's the number of times that fuck is said in Scarface. Is
Hmm.
where the 182 comes from. True story.
Uh, so, okay, let's go down that rabbit hole. Favorite Blink 182 song? Go.
Anthem Part 2.
You're wrong. If it's not Damn It, it's not great.
Damn, it is a good song though.
Yeah, dude, that's one of the first 10 songs I learned how to play on guitar. That intro is the shit. But Travis Barker is one of the best drummers I have ever tried to replicate. He does a lot of really weird offbeat shit, and
Hmm.
I love trying to play his shit. He did some shit.
He is a fucking wizard. Like being able to
Dude, he
play
did.
like rock metal shit and then go produce with Lil Wayne and Game and like actually put
Have you?
live drum
Yes.
sets into fucking rap music is absolutely fucking awesome. Like
Yeah, he got me messing with some of that stuff.
he went on fucking tour with Lil Wayne back in like I think it was like 2011, 2012, something like that. It was him, Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, Tyga, and whoever the fuck that other dude is. But yeah, like they had a fucking tour and like it wasn't like preloaded like digital music shit. It was like Travis on the fucking drums and like you know what I mean? Like it was fucking cool as shit.
People almost died in a plane wreck.
Yeah, dude, he fucking 65%. He almost lost his right foot.
Yeah, and it's still a badass.
Fucking him and DJ AM and two security guards and the two security guards and the two pilots died in the plane crash, and DJ AM and Travis survived.
I
And
didn't know you. I didn't know you like Blink 182.
he had
That's crazy.
I think it was like 30 different fucking skin graft surgeries. And he said like where he used to take so many fucking pills and was such a big pothead, like he'd be like they'd have him knocked out from the anesthesia, and he would wake up like mid surgery, freaking the fuck out while they were like had him cut open
Mhm.
and shit. Like it's crazy. But oh yeah, yeah,
My
yeah.
wife. Okay,
Yeah, two
my
years
wife's
two
injured.
years later, he's back fucking not even 2 years later, playing the drums after a fucking plane crash, and he never flew on a plane until Courtney. Is it Courtney Kardashian? Is that who he's dating? He's dating one of the Kardashian
I have no
sisters right
clue.
now, but
What an idiot.
she got him on a plane. I forgot when it was, but they made a big deal about it because it was the first time he's flew since I think it was like '08 was when he about died on that plane crash because the tire blew out going down the runway. But yeah,
Yeah,
and Tom left
I have thoughts.
Blink 182 to go fucking chase UFOs, which is
Angels and Airways.
fucking. I get it though.
Um.
Like if you're passionate about it, hey, go for it. Fucking whatever.
Yep. Yep. Um.
Rumor is the Pentagon's asked him to come fucking shed some insight on his knowledge of UFOs and shit.
He's gonna come in there and tell him shut the fuck up. Like, shh. So another thought, and I lost it. Oh yeah. So you're talking about uh Travis lost a big old chunk of his foot and had to relearn how to play the drums, right? So after when I got rocked by that shitty little ID in Afghanistan,
Fuck those
I had to
things.
completely relearn. I had to completely relearn how to play, man. Like,
Same with me and
uh,
guitar, dude.
I my parent. Okay, so my dad. I used to beat up my mom's pots and pans, right? And my dad was like, "Dude, if you help me work all summer, I'll get you a drum kit."
Mhm.
And I did. I busted my ass, worked like a dog all summer. We were clearing the property for this house. Actually, I think I was in 6th or 7th grade. And my brother, who is those that don't know, he's a piece of shit, but um, he he got me into metal music. Like I love Metallica, Iron Maiden, like old metal, right?
Mhm.
And at the time, I just got past the Master of Puppets and in my mind, and started to mess with like and listen to the Black album.
Mhm.
And so my dad gets me this drum kit, right? He was a jazz drummer in high school,
Oh,
and you would
nice.
think learn some stuff from my dad, right? He didn't teach me a damn thing except how to set it up. That was it. He tuned it and he walked away.
Said figure it out, son.
It took me 3 hours, and I learned cover to cover "The Unforgiven" off the Black album by Metallica. It took me 3 days, and I had the entire. And I'm telling you, like I played until they told me to shut up at 10 o'clock at night, and I was up at 9 o'clock in the morning because I wasn't allowed to play earlier than that. And we're talking daylight to dark learning, right?
Right.
Um, you know, they got me some books, and like I never really picked up proper technique, how to learn. Like I all learned myself,
Right.
and I got pretty decent. Like I was a punk rock drummer, you know. I wasn't the greatest at time, but and then I got blown up, and I forgot it all. In between the two deployments, there was a drum set in my room. It was somebody from 370. I can't remember his name, but
Frisco.
he had a drum kit in his room. Yeah, I think so. I
Mhm.
was like, dude, let me hold on to that, and
Yeah, I
he
went
brought it
with
down.
funny blue drum kit. I went with him downtown, and
Yep.
we made 4 different trips, and we brought it back to post in the back of my little fucking Ford Fiesta hatchback.
Do you remember that magical moment in the barracks when that drum set went from sounding like shit to sounding like an actual
Sounded
drummer
like,
was behind it?
yeah,
That was me.
because you actually
It
tuned it.
took me. I tuned it. Well, I remember how to tune it, but it took me a week to remember how to keep time
Right.
and to get my hands and feet to work independently one another again.
Right.
Like I still remembered how to play. Like I didn't forget that, right?
Yeah.
But the hard part about playing the drums is to get right hand and left hand or left hand to do their own thing, and while you're doing their own thing.
Right.
That's the hard part to make it work. But once you figure it out, it was like riding a bike, man. But it took me It took me longer to learn that again than it did originally to figure it out. And but man, once I figured it out, dude, it uh, I bought an 8 piece drum kit, dude, huge 8 piece drum kit offline, off musician's friend, and it showed up. I forgot to tell my dad it was coming.
Huh.
Right, I bought it drunk. I bought it drunk one night. No, that was the second drum kit. The first one I got was in Bagram on the way home. Kind of did the same thing, but the second
Hold
one
on.
I got was drunk
Did you just say you bought a kit in Bagram, or you bought it online while in Bagram?
online for
Oh,
musician's
okay. I
friend.
was gonna say, what the fuck?
No, there wasn't a fucking drum kit in Bagram. Um, but yeah, I ordered it online. I forgot to tell my dad. It shows up on his steps, and I get an email. Like this is before like anybody ever like I used Facebook or my parents didn't use it.
Right.
I get an email from my dad that says all it says is "call me, motherfucker." I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble. Uh, okay. So I call, and he goes, "What the fuck is on my porch?" I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about?" He goes, "There's 14 boxes on my porch." I'm like, "Oh shit."
Huh.
I was like, So I bought a drum kit. He goes, "Where the hell am I supposed to put this? What am I supposed to do with the other drum kit?" I'm like, you didn't really think through that. I don't know. So my dad, being a badass he was, old drum kit, I still have it in my middle building. I took it down and um, just checked everything on it, make sure it wasn't rotting or none of that stuff, and it's all in protected plastic. I love that kit. I still have my first kit. the one he bought me when I was a kid. Old shitty Adam percussion. It still sounds like shit, but I could play it. I could put heads on it and play it today. Um, not beat the piss out of that kit. But my 8 piece is still sitting in my garage. Then I have my other 8 piece that's at Jason's house, my good kit that my wife bought me for my birthday. And like you've seen pictures of my new kit, like it is a fucking monster, and it is
Mm-hmm.
so much fun. For those that haven't seen it, I have what's a 7 piece? I don't have the double bass. I have the option, but I don't use it because it's a lot of shit to carry. But I have a Gibraltar drum rack, and it. At one point in time, I had like 13 cymbals on it, and it was my show. It was my show kit. There's videos and pictures on my Facebook of me playing on it, and it was an act of Congress to get it set up for a show. But God, it looked good. That drum kit when they seen pictures of it at Club Fungus, they were, that was the talk of the town for a minute. But yeah, I went on a ramble there. Sorry, but needless to say, like it's impressive that Travis figured it out because it's hard to do when you lose something or your brain gets rocked, which I'm sure he wrecked a plane. I'm sure it messed with his brain.
Oh yeah.
So it's hard to learn, man. But once you get it back, it's like I like doing a lot of things in this world, but nothing's quite like sitting behind a drum kit. That's home.
So funny story. My mom would get a kick out of me telling this. When I was a young lad, like I wanted to learn how to play the drums. Like I was just fucking interested in it. So I was probably like 10 or 11 years old, I guess. And I told my mom, you know, tell Santa Claus I wanted a drum kit for my birthday. Because I used to take like pots and pans and buckets, 5 gallon buckets, and like the lids, and like I'd make a drum kit out of pots and pans and like buckets and shit. And I'd get fucking wooden spoons and like beat on them in the kitchen and shit. And so anyway, my mom bought me she bought me a kit for Christmas and was hiding it in the closet because it was from Santa Claus or whatever. Which little kids watching Santa Claus is real. Just note. Uh, but yeah, so I break this motherfucker out and I'm playing it right while she's at work and well trying to figure out how to play it. And she comes home, like I get it all back in the box, get it put together, but I forgot to put the fucking drumsticks back in the box. And so like when she comes in, she finds the drumsticks and then obviously goes over to the box and sees that the tape's been cut and like whatever. So she took it back, so I didn't get a fucking drum kit. And so like I never got to
Could have been a drummer.
I know I never got to like learn or play drums or whatever, but it's cool as shit that uh
Dude, they sell like 200 electronic drum kits, and they're not loud. You put headphones on, and they're not bad. I got
see I
Eli
don't
one
know
for
if
Christmas in a few years, and they're Elisa something. I actually have one. It's my fuck around kit. Like when it hits me and I have an idea that I gotta figure out, and I'm
yeah,
not anywhere near Jason's house, and I'm here. Like I use it to like yeah, I practice and I'll do my rudiments, uh, uh, and stuff like that, or just to think through you know a fill or something that I want to implement, or hell, just jamming.
right.
Like one of my favorite songs to jam is uh, Nightmare by Avenged Sevenfold, just because of that freaking stupid double bass that Mike Portnoy did in
Mhm.
that song. And God, it's fun.
I love their new album.
I've not listened to it. I've not really paid much of attention to one since the Rev died. No interest. I don't
Um
know. Like their new drummer's badass, but I don't have to check it out. I guess. Fuck.
yeah, so luckily when I turned like 14 or so, my grandpa gave me a guitar. Well, his deal was he would buy me a guitar if you know I practice and he would teach me notes and shit like that. And so like I don't really know how to like I can't read music. Um,
You
I
read
I
tablature.
don't yeah I don't know how to do any of that. But like I'm pretty good. Like I can listen to a song and like kind of figure out what key it's in and like kind of guess at what notes are being played, and then I go look on guitar tabs or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I was close, instead of a fucking C-Ed 9, it's a fucking whatever. But um, but like my problem I have now is like when I'm playing, I struggle with my timing. I don't know if it's like where my brain's scattered
I
like a
got a
bowl of
solution for
fucking
that.
scrambled eggs or what, but like. like I'll be playing or whatever, and like my brain will just fucking go dead, like mid fucking whatever, and I'm like, and then like a half a second later, I'm like, oh yeah, and so like it's real choppy.
I got something for you, Slick.
So I don't even like playing I don't even like playing my guitar anymore, just 'cause like every time I do, I like it sounds like well, it doesn't sound like shit, but I fuck shit up and I get frustrated with it and I throw my shit down.
They have this high-speed app called the Metronome app. It's a click track, right? You
Right?
figure out whatever song you're playing, right? And you use it honestly, and I use it to play the drums. I play the guitar like a drummer, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I, on the drums, I like to groove, man. Like I play with a click track, but and I'll stay in time, but my time, I don't have to exactly play right on the downbeat. Like I play a little offbeat stuff, some
Right.
stuff like that. And I catch myself doing that on guitar, which makes it sound like shit. But with a metronome, the odd sound click is always on the one, right? So you got that tick tock 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 tick
Mhm.
tock tock tock, and um, you know that um, usually, we'll say a song has. I mean, we can talk about this later, but a song has, 4 bars in a chorus. So you count in one, two, three, four, two, two,
Yeah.
three, four, three, two, three, four, and that's how I keep concept of what's going on. And a lot of times, like my first step of figuring out a song because I'm a drummer is the drums, but it helps also for guitar to do the same. I'm having to do music theory, which is a rabbit hole. It's like I think it's like flat Earth theory because I went down that rabbit hole, but it made more sense than music theory.
Yeah.
It's a lot of I'm in a class right now. I'm having to do it, but there's this crazy thing in writing music called the circle of fifths, and it's borrowing chords from different keys and a whole bunch of complicated shit that I haven't figured out yet. But I got a buddy, shout out to two buddies, shout out to Sean Jordan and Jason Johnson, who are very patient with me and guide me through being a drummer and learning how to play chords and keys and shit like that. But speaking of music, I got a shout out to my buddy Chris Trainer, who I was in a band with, play guitar with. His band Quiescent Manus have been crushing it as of late. They've been touring all over the place. They got an EP out. They just debuted another song at a show. For those metalheads out there, they just debuted a song at a show uh, earlier this week. I'll tag him in the comments. So anybody listening, go give him a like and a subscribe and tell Chris I sent you. He's a really good friend and he's a hell of a guitarist. And I always told him I'd support everything he does. And whenever our band split up, it wasn't there was no ill will between any of us. It was just we want to go do our own thing. And and what he's doing right now is absolutely crushing it. He's played shows from here to Clarksville. He played at the warehouse where I used to go party when I was in 101st, and he's been kicking ass, and I'm proud as hell of him.
Airborne. Oh
I had a
man.
blast in Clarksville. But Airborne, well, 101st was ignorant. Anyways, man, I don't think we have time to do NFL picks. You got any? Let's pick. What do you think? Oh, and were we just going college picks for the uh,
Oh,
bet? Are we gonna do everything?
we can combine them or uh, however you want to do it. It don't matter. Let me. I'm pulling up
So I
the.
can't. Hey, I do have an idea though. I know on the UT Florida week we got to bring on Sarnt Newsom. Me and that dude been talking shit since I met him about the UT Florida game, and he's gonna talk mad shit, and Tennessee gonna lose. I'm aware, but every year for years we had a bet that loser had to. I don't know if you remember or not. I used to have the Florida Gator like once a year on my Facebook profile picture.
Yeah.
Well, I finally beat him, dude, and I made him mad as fuck at me because I rubbed that shit in. But I was like, dude, what do you expect? I've lost like 5 years in a row. Like I'm gonna enjoy this because I've lost every year since. But that shit was funny. It was a good time.
So, so we'll do some NFL picks, and then before we jump off here, I got a drunk story I'm gonna share, and then we'll do closing remarks and get out of here because I gotta get to bed. Um, however, so I'll just read through some of the. Are you looking at the schedule? Or you want me to read through it, or?
I uh, I'll just call it a game.
All right, so
Just
Dallas,
you pick
Dallas and Tampa Bay play Thursday night. In Tampa Bay.
Brady,
Um, yeah,
Tom Brady. Enough said.
yeah. So I'm gonna go with Tampa too, just 'cause fucking Dallas can suck a fat one. Um, let's see,
Bird.
another good game would be um,
What Titans?
uh, they they play in Nashville against Arizona, the Cardinals.
Cardinals. Kyler. Yeah, yeah, Titans. I don't think Kyler. I don't know. I don't know that Murray's there yet. He's
Is
good, but
I haven't really is Vrabel gonna be back Sunday from his COVID shit?
I believe so.
Yeah.
From my understanding, him, uh, Tannehill, a bunch of them will be back.
Okay. Yeah. I'll go Titans then. Um, Baltimore and Las Vegas. That's Monday night game. That should be a really good game. Two stout defenses.
Baltimore, Las Vegas. Derek Carr's still the quarterback, right? We still got John Gruden. I gotta go Baltimore. I want to be a Derek Carr fan, but he just keeps finding ways to shit the bed every single time I want to root for him.
I'm gonna take the Raiders. Even
By
though
the
they
way, for
even though they cut my fucking boy Carl Joseph, but it's all right. Um, freaking uh Monday night on ABC. Ain't Eli and Peyton, aren't they calling Monday night games now?
no, they're not calling. They are gonna essentially be sitting in random bars, and telling stories and commenting on the game. From what
Okay.
Peyton Manning said, if the game's good, they'll talk about the game. If the game's a blowout or it sucks, they'll tell stories about their careers or life or whatever. So I'm all in on that.
Nice.
Yep.
I feel like I'd be doing him a disservice if we didn't mention uh the shit in Jacksonville going on. The way that just
What an idiot.
Urban Meyer freaking all throughout the preseason said, they weren't gonna give the job to Trevor Lawrence, and like it made Gardner Minshew like be better, and Trevor Lawrence actually showed up and played, and then they added value, to Gardner, and they ended up, I think it was a sixth round pick or third round pick they got out of him when they shipped him out of there. But
Yeah.
but kudos to Urban for freaking not only putting the pressure on Trevor, but building value in Gardner so they could get a fucking pick back out of him.
Yeah. And
um,
I don't know why, like, let's just go ahead and say it. Like, Gardner Minshew may never, ever make it as a high end quarterback in the NFL. But that dude, the caterpillar underneath his lip is world class.
world class,
I don't know
world
if he still
class.
got it, but man, that face meat and that fur on there is a winner.
So so
Like that dude needs to save some pussy for the rest of us as good as that damn thing looks. I'm sorry, I had to talk about it.
while we're on this, let's I'm gonna share two pictures on my Facebook screen here. And I want us to take a vote on these. Um, 'cause the boom stash that was Nick O'Toole when he was at West Virginia, uh, my God, grew the thickest, manliest fucking beard. But he also, when he shaved, he had this fucking like Monopoly man mustache that like curled at the end. It was fucking. We called it the boom stash. It was fucking awesome. So, um, well, shit. How am I gonna share this so you can see it too?
I googled it. I I don't know.
I'm
It's
sharing.
nice. It really is,
I'm
but
sh- I'm sharing my screen. So
it's not Gardner Minshew.
here's Gardner right here, and you see he's got the fucking mullet that goes with it. Like he's fully doing
Hmm.
that fucking
The
white
locks, man.
white trash fucking. There it is right there. Check it shit out.
Yeah,
But
dude. Like that dude needs to save some pussy for the rest of us.
let's go over here at Nick O'Toole, man. Like it's fucking, and he's a punter. Like he was at media days, freaking boom stashing it up, man. Fucking love that dude. He was awesome. Had a hell of a fucking leg.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's a punter.
Yeah, that's a punter, dude. Hell of a fucking leg.
He looked like Freddie Mercury.
Dude had a fucking cannon of a leg, man. Freaking awesome sauce. But yeah.
I would
Uh
love to hear like Pat McAfee's takes on that mustache for the brand, as he puts it.
oh, I'm sure if you go back and look, like I'm sure somewhere he's talked about it. I'm sure if you
God,
go
I
back
hope so.
if you go back through the archives, cuz he's all about freaking the special teams guys, you know, the kickers, punters. He also likes to throw in there that he has a perfect uh, QBR on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, fake punt, wasn't it?
Yeah, the the I don't mean to go down another rabbit hole like we seem to be doing here, but there's a funny one. He talks about they had lined up um him and Vinny they were gonna do this fucking fake field goal, and so what was supposed to happen was Pat McAfee was supposed to snap the ball, hold it for Vinatieri. Vinatieri was gonna fake the kick, and McAfee was just supposed to like shoot the fucking B gap, right? Like it was the guard was pulling the B gap on the left side was just gonna be fucking wide open. And they practice it all week, and uh, the game comes, like they're in their situation, whatever. Like here we're gonna do this, and they line up and fucking Troy Polamalu or however the fuck you say his name is lined up over the fucking B gap,
Oh
and
dear.
uh, Pat says he gets down, he looks at Vinny. Vinny looks back at him. McAfee gets up, goes to the line, and he goes, "We're fucking kicking it. We are fucking kicking it." And fucking goes back, snaps the ball, and Vinny kicks it through the uprights. He was like, I was in, like, they had watched all kinds of film, and Troy had always lined up on the opposite side, like they knew it was going to work. But for whatever reason, that motherfucker filled his gap. And he said he walked up to the line, and he was like, "We're fucking kicking it. We are fucking kicking it."
For those that don't know, little backstory on Troy Polamalu. You need to put some respect on that man's name. That dude was a monster.
Fucking
Uh,
monster.
dude, he like you watch like if you haven't, just YouTube his name. If you don't know who he is, just YouTube him. Like absolutely, like you didn't throw over the middle with Troy Polamalu anywhere nearby because he would kill you and your mom. Like he was just
Fucking
filthy.
murder you. Talk about some locks, man. Fucking Pat McAfee back in the day had some fucking luscious locks.
Yep.
How
You know,
about
like
that? How
they let
about
Polamalu literally, like he was a legit free safety. They just let him do whatever the fuck he wanted to do because he
yeah,
had that brain.
yeah. Fucking football IQ's through the roof, man. That's why he was so good.
Yeah, I watched something. He was a lot like Peyton Manning. Like you were not gonna. He may not have been the best coming out of high school and college, but he over prepared better than anyone else.
Yeah.
And that was Peyton Manning. Like he was the king of throwing a duck touchdown pass, but you weren't gonna out prepare him ever. Which was why those those old Colts and Steelers games to watch those two play chess with each other was amazing.
Yeah.
Same with Belichick and Peyton Manning. There was a reason Tom Brady went to uh, Peyton Manning's Hall of Fame speech. Make sure he was done.
Yep.
That's exactly what he said on Twitter. He's like, I'm just coming to make sure he really ain't coming back. That dude is a yearly donor to UT and like attends games as often as he possibly can. Like came in, talked to the team like 2 weeks ago. Like still bleeds orange, man. Like there will never be. It'll be near impossible to have a QB come through Tennessee that's more loved than Peyton Manning, unless he comes from like Knox County or Sevier County and homebred, stays 4 years and wins a national championship. It's not gonna happen.
Actually, my bad, folks. I just learned I misinterpreted what I said earlier. It wasn't the B gap, it was the C gap. So thank you for that correction, sir. Much obliged.
Who corrected you?
Myself.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. I was filling the gap. Uh,
But yeah, let me tell my. So every week we're gonna share a funny uh, army life, whatever kind of story, but it's gonna have something to do with a tremendous amount of alcohol. Um,
we're not going to include any names. So if you are watching this and you know who it is, don't sell them out.
don't sell them out. Even though I'll just go ahead and tell y'all this story is about me and my
We're
stupidity.
married with kids and shit.
um, when I was a young Joe, I wasn't even 21 yet. But it's funny the way my military career worked out. Like I went E1, E2, E3. I got an Article 15. Started all over. Went 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this happened. So, uh, so I go down to the Green Goose on a Thursday night. Uh, Wednesday
Euro
night,
shot night, baby.
Wednesday nights is Mouse Folly Euro
Euro
Shot Night,
shot. Yep.
and Thursday night it was always Irish pub and then to the Goose for
Yep.
Euro Shot Night, right?
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
so
Vo-
on
vodka
Wednesday,
energy. Vodka energy,
yeah,
baby.
on Wednesdays we always went to playoff because on Wednesdays that was when they had the ribs, uh, the all you could eat ribs on Wednesday, and then you go to the Mouse Folly and get fucking shit wasted.
And
Uh,
Tuesday you go get all you can eat tacos at Calamari's.
yes, oh my
Yeah,
god.
dude. So good.
Uh,
Anyways,
so Thursday, it's Thursday night. I'm going out to the Goose as usual, uh, to get all liquored up and dance on the dance floor like a fucking jackass. Um,
I witnessed it firsthand. It was in fact jackassery.
uh, yeah, when the battalion commander calls you out for your fucking shitty dance moves in the middle of a battalion formation because they're out doing fucking whatever patrols they did, uh, and I'm out on
Yeah,
the
it's
dance
bad.
floor with a fucking bucket in my hand. Like, what's up, sir? How the fuck are you doing? Yeah, you get called out the next day in battalion formation. But so anyway, on this particular night, I went out with a couple of friends. I'm not gonna name drop, but one of my friends was like, "Hey, I'm going back. We gotta go to PT in like 3 hours. I'm gonna try to get a nap in." And I'm like, "Oh no, you're good. Whatever, go. I'll be fine. I'll get me a donor here in a few minutes, and I'll come back. I want to keep drinking. I'm having a good time." And so anyway, I shut the bar down, and I don't remember anything.
Hold up. You didn't give context. You didn't give context. For those that don't know, a donor is God's drunk food. Okay. Like it is from the heavens. It's this fat little tasty fucking critter you get in Europe. I think it's Turkish, isn't it?
Yeah,
Uh, you had a donor with like that thick ass like flatbread, and you had a Durham that was on it was like a burrito.
like a burrito. Yeah.
Buddy. Oh
Or
my
if
God.
you're if you're real if you were real ballsy and wanted to shit your pants, you got the donor box, which is where they took French fries and put the donor meat in the box and then
Oh
put
yeah.
put some kind of sauce on it. But like
Mm-hmm.
it was like instant waterfall out of your asshole. Um,
Yep. I
but
had
yeah,
one hit me like mid run one day. It was real bad.
but yeah, getting a donor when you leave the bar was like the cure to a
Customary.
hangover almost, but not really because you were still hungover as shit. Um, but so anyway, I remember this person leaving, and I remember going and ordering another bucket. The next thing I remember was um, these what did they call the paramedic guys in Germany? Whatever. Anyway, the it's
I don't remember.
a German ambulance in front of me, and like these dudes, like they got the stretcher out beside of me, and like one of them's at my feet, one of them's at my arms, and there's an MP off to the left of me, and like they're going to pick me up, put me on this stretcher, and like I freaked the fuck out. I'm like, what the fuck, whatever. And the MP calms me down, and he's like, what unit are you in? I was like, 54th. I'm in 370th. He's like, do you got to work today? And I was like, what's the day? And he's like, Friday. And I'm like, yeah, what time is it? And he's like, it's like 6:35. All right,
Oh
so
no.
so PC formations at 0630. You got to be there 0615, no later than, because to be early is to be on time. Um, so
DOD baby.
uh, so during this, so keep that in mind, right? So during this time, my unit 370th is in PT formation, and they're seeing who's out of ranks, right? Well, another somebody had also gotten drunk that night at the Irish pub and was out of formation, but neither one of us got called out of formation when they were doing it, right?
That's good NCOs, ladies and gentlemen. They were gonna handle it themselves.
Yes, exactly. And this one person, who was my team leader, uh, my first arm barker gets a phone call, and apparently the phone call consists of something of Private May is uh, was found passed out, outside of gate one. We're gonna bring him to the unit, whatever. So in the middle of formation, uh,
Boy.
First Sergeant Barker calls out my team leader, and uh, my team leader raises his hand. He's like, uh, "Where's PSE May? Whatever." He's like, "I'm not sure, First Sergeant." He's like, "Well, why was he called out of ranks?" Anyway, so are you a wrestling fan at all? Uh, the Vince McMahon,
Not recently.
like the Vince McMahon fired up, like you're fired. Like apparently it was
Yeah.
like full
Yep.
on like Vince McMahon type energy, firing this poor E4 who just got a team leader job because I was fucking drunk at gate one. So that happens. My boy,
I hope he beats your ass.
my boy Oliver Cribley then got promoted to team leader and became Mr. Crow's number one and got his E5 while we were downrange. You're welcome, big dog. Uh, he was my Crow's gunner on the fucking Buffalo. I love that dude. Um, so yeah, so Cribs got promoted to my team leader. I'll name drop him because he didn't get in any trouble for it. But my team leader that got fired, he was pretty fucking shitty about it, which obviously should have been. He probably should have fucking beat the fuck out of me. Um, so the
Give him
MP,
credit forever.
the MP puts me in his car in the front seat, not in the back seat. So I get to ride in the shotgun. Like,
Even worse.
go down to the company area, AO, and walk, get out of the car. Uh, my platoon sergeant's there. My, uh, pretty sure the PL was there also. And Sergeant Smith, being Sergeant Smith, was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "This is what I remember. This is what happened. This is who I was with. Like, this is what happened. You know, like it's nothing on my battle buddy I was with. Like I told him to go, kind of ordeal. That way, like he didn't get fucked up with me. Because if you go without a battle buddy, they would have fucked me up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, like I was like, I had a battle buddy, but like when he left with the other battle buddies, I told him like it was my choice to stay. Um, and so he's like, all right, well let's go in First Sergeant's office. So we go in there and stand at parade dress in front of his desk or whatever, and he's like, so gate one, he's like, are you drunk? I was like, yes. Um, he's like, okay. Um,
Okay, on a scale of one to fucking 10, how drunk were you when you were standing in front of this desk?
Probably a 20.
Like, are we talking? So okay, so you're still like full on sloppy drunk.
Like I was fucking blitzed. Like let me finish the story and you'll understand. So at the
Okay.
time, me and this other cat had been beefing because like he he had just came to our platoon from the other platoon. This was like pre-deployment stuff where we had 3 platoons and they broke us into 2 platoons and then you had like the like supply dudes or whatever. And
Yeah, that
so,
shit was so dumb.
so like they put him in our platoon and like I didn't like him to begin with because he was a cocky little fucking shithead who thought his shit didn't stink. And but after deploying with him and being in firefights and shit with him and all that good jazz, he's one of my best friends, even though we don't talk hardly. Uh, so he's out in the hallway and like he's walking by or whatever, and he pops in the doorway or whatever, and he's like, thanks for getting our team leader fired or whatever. And I was like, fuck you. And so like he went to step towards me, and I was like, motherfucker, let's go. And first time Barker was like, y'all chill. He's like, get out of here, talking to the other guy. And well, the other guy that I was talking about that got drunk at the what you call it at the pub and was in his room and missed out of ranks. So apparently when they called me out of ranks, like they redid it, and everyone that was out of ranks got in trouble. And so it ended up being three of us, and it was a cause of NCOs trying to be good NCOs, and they were going to handle it internally like they should, but where I fucked everything up for everybody. So us three people, First Sergeant was like, "You guys are going to go to the MP station, and you're going to get a breathalyzer." And so
Hate those.
I literally turned to one of the guys, and I'm like, "Fuck yeah, let's go get blowed!" And my platoon sergeant comes out of his office, comes into First Sergeant's office, gets like right here, and he's like, "Listen to me, calm it the fuck down before you get in any more trouble." He's like, "I'm trying to save your ass, but I can't if you're gonna act stupid." I was like, "All right, Roger." So we go outside. First Sergeant Barker makes us run, so we take off running. What would you say? It was like what, 4 maybe 5 blocks from our company area over to where the MP station was, give or take.
Yeah, yeah, it wasn't that far.
um, so we get over there and we're outside, and the little MP dude comes over, and he's got this little fucking yellow thing in his hand, and he's like, "I'm gonna push this button, like blow, don't stop blowing until I tell you stop, kind of deal."
Which is
Uh,
way harder than they make it sound.
yeah, especially when you're fucking shit wasted.
Hammer, dude.
And so he's like, if it's green, you're good. He's like, if it's in the yellow, we got to hook you up on the big machine inside. And he's like, if you're red, we're gonna have to hook you up on the big machine, and then they're probably gonna have to draw blood to like get an accurate reading or whatever.
Oh damn, dude, how fucked up were you?
So, so this one person goes, whatever, fucking his shit was green. The next person goes, his shit was yellow. I fucking start going, and it immediately like there's like it like even on the second ones like where it was yellow, like his started off green and then like went to yellow. Mine, like as soon as I started blowing, it was like yellow and then went to red. And he was like, "Oh, you're fucked." And I was like, I quit blowing. He's like, "You got to keep blowing." I was like, "It's already red. Like let's just go inside and go to the big machine." So we go inside. I don't remember the number, but it was near death, like near alcohol poison, like it was bad. So we go back over to the company area, and First Sergeant's like, "Go get in your uniforms. Uh, come back over here. We got to start all this stuff, whatever."
How many of y'all blew hot?
So the one guy that was green, like they didn't even take him inside. He just got his ass chewed out for missing ranks. Uh, the other dude that was yellow, they took him inside. His shit wasn't bad. And they tried giving him an Article 15, but Sergeant Smith like fought it real hard and got him out of it. And me, if I hadn't have been a little smart ass when we got back to the company area, I probably wouldn't have got an Article 15. But once we got back to the company area and First Sergeant told us to go get our uniforms on and come back, um, I raised hell because I wanted breakfast, and apparently that was the wrong time to bitch about not getting breakfast. Um, so, so not a good
What an
idea.
idiot.
Not a good idea on my part. But we went and got changed, came back, and uh, I don't remember who. I can't remember if it was. Can't remember if it was Sergeant Smith or it might have been Sergeant Lewis or somebody. Um, but they were like, so first honor society, you're gonna get an Article 15 field grade, whatever. Um, your hearing will be, whenever. Uh, like no big deal. Probably gonna lose your rank, lose half your pay, and you're probably gonna get on extra duty. And I was like, well, how's
That's
that
the
gonna?
worst part.
I was like, how's that gonna work? Cause like I said, we were getting ready to we were doing our pre-deployment workup. Like we were getting ready to leave for our, um, what's it called? The shit where you go to graph and they fucking grade you to make sure you're,
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
yeah, your field exercise.
Yeah, we were 2 weeks out from doing that, and that was a whole month in graph, right? And
Yeah, that
then
place. Fuck that place.
and then like we came back. I think we had like 2 weeks. Then everybody took block leave, and then like we were scheduled to leave, and then like they ended up pushing us back, and we ended up leaving. I think like 2 or 3 weeks later than that. Um, but I was supposed to be on the Advon trip, but because like where I'd got myself extra duty, I was no longer Advon. Uh,
I was Advon for that. It sucked.
um, which I was kind of happy about, but then again, it kind of sucked because,
Extra duty.
yeah, like I had extra duty. Uh, I only got like they let me they let me like double up on my extra duty like towards the end. So like on the weekend, like I would go at like 06 and I would stay to like 2300. And like normally on
Yeah.
weekends, like you go like I think it's like 08 or 09 to like 2100. I think is what it was. But like I was trying to do extra so I could take block leave, which shout out to goddamn I can't even remember his name, whatever our battalion commander's name was, um, for
Was, was Sergeant Major Stewart. I can't remember his fucking
I,
BC though.
I can't either fucking anyway shout out to him, the black dude, not the white dude, um,
Yeah, I'm
uh,
tracking.
um, but yeah he allowed me to fucking get 6 days of block leave to come to the states and see my family before we fucking deployed. So kudos to him. Uh, but yeah, so we're back we're back over there. I'm bitching about breakfast, whatever. Uh, First sergeant lets everybody else go. Fucking me and him sit in his office for like 20 minutes, going back and forth. Like I didn't know. Apparently, like I didn't know how to shut my mouth because I just kept digging myself a deeper fucking hole. And finally, Sergeant Smith walks in there and he's like, "May, shut up, hit the deck." So like I fucking dropped down and he's like, "Go get your fucking uniform on and come back." I was like, "All right, Roger." Well,
Get your
anyway,
fucking face, bitch.
long story to make a long story short, because all the funny parts out of it now. But I went and got my shit on, came back, fucking got my ass chewed again, and was sent to do E4 Mafia sham-tastic shit where you out of sight, out of mind all day.
So
And
you could sleep.
yeah, so I went and found fucking Doc Harvey, and I was like, "Hey Doc, you got any fucking IV bags?" And he pushed fucking two IVs through me and fucking helped me for the win. So shout out Doc Harvey if you're fucking around. Oops, I name dropped, but oh well, whatever. Uh, yeah, Doc Harvey, fucking
We had a medic that was very similar to that. When I worked in operations, uh, uh, in 541st, I managed to acquire from a medic some out of date IV bags
yeah,
and all the shit required, and use them on mornings when I was um, uh, not squared away, if you
right.
will, which was like every Thursday
90
and Friday.
90% of the
Thursday
time.
wasn't so bad because you didn't run, but come Friday morning when they wanted to run you to death, like I can remember running two dwarfs and a berg drunk, but luckily I shoved two IV bags in my arm before I went to PT, and I'm telling you, I was still hammered.
Yeah, I remember we we had all went out Thursday night. We came back in and we were gonna do a castle run up to Altenburg and back.
Yeah,
And we're all like we were all fucking shit wasted. Everybody except Sergeant Evans because he was with his wife and not at the bar with us. But everybody else was fucking shit wasted. And so we go running towards Altenburg and we were all bitching because like in Germany they don't have sidewalks or like like they had a running track down at the gym, but like the sidewalks and roads and shit are like
Cobblestone.
cobblestone, right? So like when it snows and it gets all icy, like this shit gets super fucking slick.
Break
And
an ankle.
so we were all bitching about it like before we were running, and Sergeant Evans was all like, "No, you guys are just trying to get out of running. Like it's Friday. You guys know we fucking go run on Fridays." And we're like, "Well, can we at least go to the park and ride and like run fucking sprints or like whatever? Like let's not go to Altenburg. Like the fucking cobblestone's slicker and shit." And he's like, "No, we're
For those
fucking
that don't know, the Castle Run and going to Altenburg, a fucking mountain.
yeah, like going up to Altenburg. Like it's like
Like
a
like
like
you're running flat. It's a fucking mountain.
like it's like this, and it like obviously it circles all the way up till you get to the castle, and then like going up is hard, but like when it's fucking icy and shit, coming down is even worse. Uh, but when it's not like on a nice day coming down, you just like let your body do whatever the fuck it does, and just like gravity take the wheel. But anyway, so you know that like you know where our smoking area was? Well, I don't know where you guys' was, but like ours like on the end of I think it was 740 was it 743 or 2? The building where the company area was, like you know
Yeah.
how we had that little smoking area and the little like like a dumpster block in, but like that's where he smoked at.
Yeah.
And right behind our barracks building, uh, well in between them, like there was a barracks building, basketball court, and then the other barracks building, right? Well in between there somewhere there was that little twirly spinny gate thing to like go out to where you didn't have to go to the main gate. And
Yeah.
so we all start going out that little spinny gate, and like a couple of people went, I went, but right behind me was Sergeant Evans, and like I go out and like I slip, but like I don't fall, and I'm like fuck this ice, and Sergeant Evans is like, May quit bitching, and like as soon as he comes out of the gate, he hits the same patch of ice and fucking bust ass, and like pops back up,
Karma's a bitch, ain't it?
fucking sapper mentality. He's like, hey, come back, come back, come back. He's like, everybody got their IDs? We're like, Rogers aren't. He's like, go in the gate, we're going to the gym. I was like, fuck yeah. Fucking gym days, go sit in the
Yeah.
sauna when
Elliptical
you're.
time, baby.
No, go sit in the fucking sauna when you're
Yep.
shit wasted, dude. Oh, it was
Yeah.
amazing. But yeah, anyway, so that's that's enough of my. I got plenty of fucking drunk stories, but yeah, that's probably the the worst, just because
So
I lost everything essentially.
I can't wait to. So next week on Drunk Sapper Thoughts, um, I will tell y'all about the time that I got pepper sprayed, which fucking sucked all of the ass. I promise. I was so pissed about that, by the way. But I don't know, man. I think this was a success. If you did happen to watch any of this or whatever, let us thoughts. We'll work on creating on blocks and segments and stuff like that. And we just wanted to bullshit our way through the first one, see what our thoughts on it were, and all
Yeah,
that good stuff. So if you have thoughts on what we can do to improve, let us know so we can do it.
did you hook your wheel up? Are you doing iRacing things?
I'm doing iRacing things,
What kind of iRacing things?
road course stuff because I got these vibrating pedals. I can't hear anything though because my headset's like on my uh
Uh,
I tell you what though, I think super lates are at five.
stop it. I gotta go to sleep. Can't be talking
So
me into doing fun shit.
come on, we can do it for like 30 minutes, man. Then you get some sleep. I break up on occasionally. My vibrate pedals ain't working like they're supposed to. Oh, I missed that corner.
Yeah, I gotta figure out. Like I don't even know if people have commented or like anything, cause like my Streamlabs is like not showing me comments at all. So I gotta figure this shit out for next week. But yeah, that's with that note, almost 3 hours in. which isn't bad. I kind of expected it to be about 3 hours, even though we set a goal for 2 hours. But it's better than the 4 hours
Yeah,
when we originally tried doing this, uh, not live.
yeah. I, we can discuss after we get offline. Um, what we can do to improve. But I think if we uh, almost set a timer and have segments and do it appropriately, we could
Mm-hmm.
knock it down to probably an hour and a half. Somebody paying attention for 3 hours ain't gonna happen. Somebody paying attention while they're, you know, cleaning their house or where the fuck it is that they do in their daily life for an hour might happen.
Yeah, well, we need to do like
But
on what was that show on ESPN? The white dude and the
Ooh,
black, the white dude and the black dude, and they had the little. Anyway, long story short, they have like a
first take.
they have like a counter, PTI. Pardon the interruption. I think
Oh
is what
yeah, pardon the interruption. Yeah,
where like they get a certain amount of seconds per top. Like we write out all of our topics, and you have the like we set a like we each get a minute a topic or whatever, and or however we do
yeah.
it, and then like stick to that actual time slot and not just kind of ramble on about shit forever. Um, but yeah, we'll figure it out though.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome. If you did happen to watch and you're still watching, thank you. Um, hope we didn't suck. If we do, don't tell us. We don't want to know.
Yeah. Well, with that, I'm gonna for for myself and Mr. Tackett, we're gonna skedaddle out of here.
And